lots of space for fun. There's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Hi, my name is Marshall Kanam. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the ProStyle Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and ProStyle Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the ProStyle Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Hi, my name is Marshall Kanam. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the ProStyle Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
Listen, your wedding day is the biggest day of your life. That's why you need to talk with Nick Hulberg from Pro Style Production DJ Services. The experience, the voice, the setup, you won't be disappointed. 15 years of big arena hosting, announcing, and DJing speaks for itself. PSP DJ Services also handles premier events, reunions, or parties. Call 833-1007 or visit ProStyleProduction.com to book now. PSP DJ Services. Make your event Pro Style.
At Premier Chiropractic, we are dedicated to achieving the best results possible for our patients through the most cutting-edge advances in natural healthcare today. Improving movement, function, and health, improving life.
Call to schedule your appointment today.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch. Frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
I love
Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Comes down low to the near side. Bennett walks out with it. Bennett centering. Feed fires Easton. Bennett scores. It's 4-1 Magi on the twisted wrister from Easton Bennett.
The growing tradition of Magi hockey carries on today.
He scores! And it's a hat trick for Hayden Schwartz.
A drive coming back toward Fuchs. Scores! Flom gets her out of that. Flom, then he fires. He scores! And that Flom has done it.
With one goal in mind.
Face off one back to the Knights. Minot High is winning the state title. They have won the state championship.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
To the point, Hyde sends it down. Bennett, top shelf backhand. Right where Grandma keeps the cookies, and it's 5-1. Out of Gretzky's office, Bennett feeds Hyde at the line. Near side, Hyde tunes it in, tipped in front. Vial tucks it home, and it's 5-1. It's handling, whistling, firing into the glove. No, he scored! It's 2-0. Heads, tattoos at home, and the Magicians lead 2-0.
It's time for the Minot High Magician Hockey Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location, has been serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call and order now at 701-852-1700.
Colby Enns will start the rush. Enns has a big hit at center ice. Welcome to senior night. Plenty of noise. Easton Bennett absolutely lights up Ruley. There's the hit of the game, maybe of the week.
Now, let's go to the ice with the voice of the Magi. Here's Nick Hulberg.
You have to go all the way back to 2011 to find a time when Bismarck Century and Bismarck High swept the Magicians on their home ice in this traditional week of Bismarck schools coming to the Magic City to take on the Minot High Magicians. Back in 2011, it was Bismarck Century that won on the 17th by a score of 5-4. Then on the 19th, it was a 4-2 win for the Bismarck High Demons. Earlier on this week, the Minot High Magicians fell to the hands of Troy Olson's Bismarck Century Patriots, scored that contest 5-1. Tonight, it's Mike Peluso's club that rolls into town, the Bismarck High Demons, and the Magicians want nothing more than a split with the Bismarck High Demons and the Bismarck Century Patriots on the Bismarck School Matchup Week here on home ice. Good evening and welcome to the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza is the area's ultimate party location for school parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. Planet Pizza can be reached tonight at 701-852-1700. They do deliver for free. The stuff is fantastic. Planet Pizza brings you the pregame show tonight. I'm Nick Hulberg, joined tonight by my partner in crime, Mr. Larry McFall. And Larry, I talk about 2011, the last time that the Bismarck schools swept Minot here on their home ice. But you go back to just 2 years ago when Minot High won the West Region. That would have been in 2016, led by Cross Broughton. It was the Magicians that swept the Bismarck schools, not only on home ice, but in the regular season standings. They went 4-4 against the Bismarck schools. What does Minot High need to do tonight to pick up a split against Bismarck schools here this week? Bismarck High is kind of the real deal, just like Century, but maybe not as powerful as Troy Olson's team, the Patriots, that we saw Tuesday.
No, they're definitely not. Century Patriots had 3 of the top 5 scorers in the state. Minot's leading scorer is Vial with only 14 points. Bismarck comes down to earth a little bit. Caleb Petrie has got 19 points. He's their leader with 10 goals and 9 assists. He wears number 7. Heinert's got 17, Graydon Stone 15. There's only 3 players that have more points than Vial and Minot. So based on that, these teams are a little more equal. Ackerman got the start for Bismarck, and Jordan Love started for the Magicians the last time down in Bismarck. And Love had a bad first period. Odin Nelson came in for him. The game ended up 5-3 in that one. They did play a second game here. It did not count in the standings or on the points for the standings. But Bismarck did come in here a couple of weeks ago and won it 3-0 with Martin in the net. And now tonight they go back to Ackerman. But these teams a little more even than that Century juggernaut. I always bring up history. You just brought up you have to go back to a certain time to see the last time it happened. But everybody knows different teams, different players. It's not like a pro franchise or a college that has everybody around for 4 years. So it's a new cast of characters. You just have to look at the players that are playing tonight. And I think an interesting deal is 3 Magicians are getting awarded for their play of the last game against Century. Starting tonight, Avery Beam, Hunter Cope, and Blake Nelson are starting for the Magicians. They need to find somebody that can get a spark, and I think that line did it the other night against Century. They were a bright part of that game. as it goes into tonight's game against Bismarck.
Let's talk about that game a little bit in the matchup where we'll talk to Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Magicians. Jason Bennett, we'll talk to him in the elevation coach's corner. And we kind of talked about that game where you remove the first period from that matchup against Century, and that's a 2-1 hockey game at the end of it. It ended up being an entertaining game. It ended up being a game that was worth the price of admission if you remove that first period. Century, obviously a little bit more firepower, but you talk about a player like Hunter Cope and Avery Beam. Those guys really were a big bright spot for us on Tuesday night. Guys like that have to be able to buy in and be able to do exactly what they did each and every night for a full 3 periods. If Minot High maybe not as skilled Magicians team as we've seen in the past wants a shot at even keeping some of these games respectful.
Yeah, and it might maybe give a spark to the rest of the team knowing, hey, now this fourth line is starting tonight's game. You know, maybe we better get our act together and work harder. So it might be even motivate the rest of the team to work harder. If you look at it from Bismarck Century's aspect, though, they had a 3-goal lead. Maybe they came off the gas pedal a little bit. So you can't take away the first period and then call it a 2-1 game. Century might not have went as hard in the second and third either. So there's 2 sides to the coin. But for Minot, definitely a plus in that third period, holding Century off the board and playing them pretty evenly in the third going into this game now. So this change at line, I watched the practice yesterday, and the practice was very lively. They were doing some like small ice games, and they were having a little bit of fun out there. It looked like it was a relaxed environment last night at practice, and that might be what this team needs to get themselves over the top. This is a big game because since we talked on Tuesday night, there's now a 3-way tie for third, fourth, and fifth, I believe, in the West region with 15 points. Now it's just a quagmire there. Anybody that grabs the next 2 points shoots up to third and starts sending a message for regional, and that's what they need to do tonight.
We'll take a look at those region standings. We'll take a look at this matchup a little bit further in depth as well. Who's hot for Bismarck High? Who's hot for the Magi? The goaltenders tonight that go toe-to-toe, plus much more. Then we'll hear from Jason Bennett, the co-head coach, in the elevation coach's corner. This is Minot High against Bismarck High. Boy, it's one that we sure enjoy. The third matchup of the year. Can the Magi come up with a win tonight? If they don't, it's a sweep for the Bismarck schools on the season. It's a sweep for Bismarck High on the year against the Magi. Can the Magicians get it done on the Pepsi rink tonight? We're going to find out. This is the Planet Pizza pregame show for Minot High Magicians Hockey. More to come when we return. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Go for lunch, frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Pro ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
A junior and a senior lead the way for the Bismarck High Demons. In the points column, Caleb Petrie, 19 points for him on the season. He's the junior. Joey Heinert, who's been on the block for a bit now, 2 years, has 17 points. He's a sophomore. They go against Jake Weil and Kyler Stenberg, the two leaders for the Magi tonight. Weil, 14 points for him, 10 for Stenberg coming in. And it's fair to say that both of these teams' top producers need to produce some tonight in this West Region affair. It's Bismarck High against Minot High. This is the Planet Pizza pregame show. I'm Nick Hulberg, next to the legend himself, Mr. Larry McFall. Larry, things are going to get interesting down the stretch. When you look at some of the state's top producers, I know that you talk about some of the best in the state. Well, how about the goaltenders trying to shut these guys down? Who leads the way in North Dakota? We're going to see a good one tonight in Ackerman with some pretty heavy numbers.
Well, the top three goalies ranked in the state have 2 games or less under their belt, so I tossed them out, no offense to those 3 goalies. That leaves Austin Martin of Bismarck High, in my opinion, the top goalie in the state. He's got 6 games, a 1.00 goals against, 93.9. He shut the Magicians out in that exhibition game here, 3-0 a couple of weeks ago. But the man out there tonight is Quinn Ackerman, 7 games under his belt, a 1.43 goals against average, 92.6 save percentage. He's the one that bested the Magicians 5-3 down at the Wachter Arena earlier this year. Minot will go with 19th ranked Odin Nelson in the state. He comes on in 13.3 games under his belt. He's got a 3.15 goals against average, which is still higher than you want, but as we talked about on the last broadcast, he got barraged a couple games out east that ballooned that stat for him. Since then, he's settled down and started to play a pretty good game. He's got an 88.1 save percentage right now. But Austin Martin leading Fargo Davies as Jared Winter by 0.9% on the goals against average, giving him the lead in the state, but he is not starting tonight's game for Bismarck.
Let's take a look down at the standings around North Dakota, and here's where it gets interesting. Larry mentioned that Bismarck Century's out front with 21 points. Nobody's going to catch them, in my opinion. They are a tier above everybody else. Jamestown, Bismarck High, and Minot all have 15 points, and so does Dickinson. 4 teams with 15 points on the season. Buckle up tight. Here's the kicker. Dickinson's played 9 games. Jamestown's played 10. Bismarck High's only played 6, and Minot has played 8. So a few games in hand for a few of these teams, including Minot High and Bismarck High. But, boy, these points are on a premium inside of North Dakota. How big is tonight for the Magi?
Well, it would be such a big stepping stone because it gets the monkey off their back against Mike Peluso's team. It also gives them 2 points and jets them up to 3rd place in the standings if they can get a win. So it is just a huge game for Minot. They say 3rd time's a charm. They've lost to them twice already this year. I think it would be huge for this group of young players to get a win tonight on home ice as they go into the final stretch of the season. It would be a lot bigger for Minot than it would be for Bismarck, for sure.
We're going to hear how they're going to do that tonight when we talk to Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Magi. It's Minot High and Bismarck High tonight on the Pepsi Rank Ice surface. Should be a good one in West Region play. This is the Planet Pizza pregame show. We'll hear the coach's thoughts next. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Systems go for lunch. Right when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
It's time for the Elevation Coaches Corner. Elevation, located at the Minot Country Club and open to the public 7 days a week. Elevate your game at Elevation. Now back to the ice for the Elevation Coaches Corner.
We're now joined by Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Minot High Magicians, for the Elevation Coaches Corner here on the Planet Pizza pregame show. First of all, thanks for a little time tonight, Thursday night. North Dakota High School hockey, Bismarck High, Minot High. You got to love these ones, don't you?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out, so we're excited to be, kind of put to rest last Tuesday night and get back at our night.
Before we put it to rest, let's talk about the second half maybe of that hockey game. And boy, it just sure seemed like once you guys got that goal, Stenberg set up deal and tucked that one home, and all of a sudden there was a little jam in your guys' step, and it was like, Jekyll and Hyde, almost a different hockey team. You take away that first period, it's a 2-1 game at the end for Century. You guys have to really build off of that, don't you?
Yeah, like we talked about, with the guys, and the first goal goes in, and there's kind of just a slump on the bench. You can kind of feel it. We were on the power play. They got a shorthander, and I mentioned, and I know Odin himself would like to have that one back. It's a save he makes 9 times out of 10, and just kind of trickled in, and it just we kind of went to sleep for about 5 minutes, and they're such a good hockey team. They scored 2 goals, bing bang boom, and next it's 3-0.
Your thoughts on that top line of Thomas and Kirkland, Irie, Nick Brown. In your mind, are those next-level players? They sure look like it to me at times.
I think so. I think Irie is for sure. I mean, he's a young kid, and he's pretty talented. And the thing with those kids, all 3 of them can skate, and that's the key to playing hockey at the next level, You can skate, they'll find somewhere to be, and Irie's got a good shot. Thomas does too, and that Brown kid. He didn't play last year. Luckily for us, I think we had some squeakers with Century. You add him to the lineup last year, and who knows, maybe we lose 3 of those games. So, yeah, they're good hockey players, and we just need to find a way. Hopefully, we see them again in the West Region tournament and try to shut that group down.
On to Bismarck High tonight, and this is a team coached by Mike Peluso. This is a hardworking bunch of kids, and on paper they're not overly more talented or gifted than Minot High, but they've got just 4 lines that seem to push you around each and every night, and they've given some good teams in the state their best each and every night they play, especially in these rivalries. What do you expect out of Bismarck High, team that you lost to 3-0 the last time we matched up?
We faced them twice, and that was a game, right before Christmas break. Pat Hyde was in the lineup, and the shots were, lopsided. We played them down there with Pat in the lineup, and we held them to 21 shots, and I think our defensive zone, man-to-man, kind of flustered them a little bit. They're a team that likes to go to the point, and they'll put up 50 shots on you. They get the point, they shoot from everywhere, and they were kind of confused on there. So, hopefully we're good in our own end tonight, and we're a team that needs to work hard too. I think we kind of started playing some guys that, I hate to say not the most talented guys, but some young guys that can skate, and they ran into people on Tuesday night in the second, third period, and it kind of gave us some life and some momentum, and that's where we're at this time of year. It's no matter how good you are skill and talent wise, but if you're gonna go 110% and stick puck body, run into guys that you're gonna get in the lineup.
You kind of alluded to my next question here, but Caleb Petrie, Joey Heiner, Graydon Stone, 19, 17, and 15 for points. I don't want to take anything away from these 3 players that are great players in the West Region, but certainly not Century's top unit, and a line that you definitely need to focus in on the way you do against Century. Does that make your night easier as coaches at all, knowing that there isn't any real killers, if you will, on the other side?
I don't know. Like, they got kids that can put the puck in the net. We know that. Every team you face has a pretty good line. Like you said, we've talked about before, Century's top line is probably the best line in the state. And you go back and look at it, I think they got a shorthanded goal, they got a power play goal, and I think that top line maybe was +1, even strength against us. So I think we did a pretty good job shutting them down 5-on-5. Our key to that game was scoring odd man rushes. I think we had 3-on-2s in the first period. We had 2 2-on-1s, and I think we got 1 shot on net off it. So that's something we focused on yesterday. Is odd man rushes. Got to bear our chances. We don't have a lot of high-powered goal scorers this year. So when we do get chances, we need to score.
In my mind, Coach, I just look at this hockey team that you've got right now, and it would be so huge in my mind if you guys could just walk out of the first period with the lead, or even at 0-0 at the end of one. How big is that for you guys to start tonight, and maybe just a full contest for you, knowing that you guys have played some good hockey? It's just been in spurts this year.
It has been in spurts. You look at the start of the Century game, and I think they got their first shot on net, 8 minutes into the game, and when they scored that goal to go up 1-0, I think at the 9-minute mark, the shots were 2-2. So we got off to a decent start defensively. We just didn't have much pushback in the offensive end. We haven't done very well this year when we've given up the first goal, and I would say probably of our 8 losses, I don't think we've won a game where we've been down yet. So we'll see. It'd be big to get that first one, but I think we did show some character, where we maybe wouldn't have in early December, when we give up the first one, it's 3-0. Century and end up 8-0. The other night it was 3-1, 4-1, and we kind of battled around, and we had a power play to kind of start the third, whatever. So, yeah, I think it's important to get the first goal.
Bismarck High, Minot High, final thing I have for you on a night like tonight. You got to just love these rivalries, don't you? I mean, back in time and throughout time, it just seems like this is the one that everybody gets up for. We fill the arena the most for this one. How much do you look forward to a matchup like this with Mike Belusso's club?
100%. It's like we said, this whole week is something you mark on the calendar, and in the past, it's usually been a split during this week, and there's been very, very rare times. A couple of years ago when we swept Bismarck High and Century, we beat them both at home, but we lost the one Tuesday, and hopefully we can get that split tonight with the Bismarck teams.
Best of luck here tonight.
All right, thanks.
That's Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Minot High Magicians. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll take a look further into the matchup. The Demons, the Magi, live tonight here on the Magi Hockey Network.
Go for lunch, when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. West Region hockey time tonight. It's the old school rivalry and our favorite of the year. Bismarck High and Minot High. Let's set this one up for you. The Magi tonight will travel from the right to the left on the radio dial in their home white uniforms. Cody Nelson will be in the blue paint on our right. He goes toe-to-toe tonight against Quinn Ackerman, the goaltender for the Bismarck High Demons. They travel from the left to the right tonight. The Demons in their road maroons. They've got the big Demon cartoon character on the chest. Stripes on the bottom of the jersey in white, 2 around the elbows as well. 3 stripes of white on the maroon socks. All maroon for the Demons tonight. Maroon helmets, pants, and gloves for the Magi as well. Hunter Cope starts things off for the Magi. We are underway for a West Region affair tonight inside the Pepsi rink here at Mesa Arena. Hope you're locked and loaded. Special thanks tonight to Planet Pizza, area's ultimate party location for school parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. I was there for lunch today. That stuff is delicious. Well, Larry, what do you think? Bismarck High, Minot High, this is always a fun one.
Well, it hasn't been fun lately, but we'll see if it's fun tonight. The Magicians definitely due for a win here at the Pepsi rink, that's for sure.
Up at the near sideline, puck fired in, intercepted by Patrick Hyde, and Hyde's going to bring it out to center. Hyde walks in over the Bismarck High stripe, takes it down in front of Ackerman. Puck banged off the end wall from Drew Leonardson. It comes all the way back into Minot High territories. That one rolled all the way down on the retrieve for the Magicians. On the near side wing, that was Hunter Cope, but it's taken away, thrown in front of the Minot High goal. Puck went away to the far side wall. Graydon Stone's got it there, and Stone just dumps it back in behind where Broughton goes to work on it now for the Magi. And Broughton leaves it back in behind. Avery Beam gets a handle on it here near side, bottom of the circle. Right side of the radio dial, trying to walk out is Graydon Stone from behind the net. He pushes back to the far point. Handling here is Zach Kuhn. 8 points for Kuhn here on the season. He moved that one ahead forward and hit traffic, and now it's back in. Graydon Stone turns it and fires it out. Nelson makes the save as he went into the butterfly. 1 minute, 16 seconds in.
Stone had a pretty good chance there. Came in from the blue line, took the shot from the top of the circle to Nelson's left, but Nelson down on the pillows makes the save. Face-off now coming to the left of Odie Nelson.
The draw, Stenberg handles here, and Stenberg moves it out to the blue line, but it's fired right back in, that time from Dayton Deeks, and Deeks dumps it in, but the Magi bring it back out. Jake Vile takes it up over center ice and dumps it down and behind Ackerman. Ackerman wears all white pads. He's got a Warrior goal stick that has red writing on it. He's got the white Bauer goal mascot. Shot from the line comes in. It's tipped in front and up and out of play.
His dad, Duncan, was a Minot High School netminder. Back in the past, I suppose. Maybe in the 90s. I can't remember.
Early 90s, I believe it was.
But there's a lot of Minot influence down in Bismarck. A lot of Minot people have moved down there, have kids in the system now. It's nice to see.
Brett Borkus was on the other night talking during the Fargo Davies game, and he said that he and his wife live in the Bismarck High School District. That the look on his face when he said, "My kids are going to be demons," he kind of had a little smirk on his face. He said, "I never thought that would have happened." It's such a big rivalry. Minot High, Bismarck High goes to show you that sometimes you just have to live with certain things. 2 minutes into the contest, out to center ice it comes. Sam Smith, the linesman tonight, was in the way there. He almost went to the ice. He went down hard against Fargo Davies. He was all right. I saw him in the training room after that, but geez, oh, Pete, he went down real hard.
On his own, just skating backwards during a stopping the play.
Those are the worst.
By the way, that won't be the last time he gets in the way tonight either.
Top of the circle, puck comes away to the near side, out to center on the retrieve is Isaac Olhauser on the near side wall. This is the left side of the ice surface, now into the offensive zone, turning it towards the net, whistled over the head of Odie Nelson. That was a high riser from Connor Martire. Back in behind the Minot High net, here comes Patrick Hyde, dead ahead approach out of his own end, right through center. Now Brent Davis will dump it in, blocker son Ackerman, and in on the retrieve is Mason Deal. Boy, he went head first into the end boards. Deal slow to get up. Seems to be okay. Back into the Minot High end from Graydon Stone on the near wall. He punches it down underneath the net. 3 minutes into the opening period. Bismarck High with control of the puck. They walk it out in front, taken by Davis. He'll go over to Nick Murphy, and Murphy's up over center ice and dumping it into the offensive zone. This is the left side of the radio dial down underneath the goal line. Demons back out to neutral ice. They bump it ahead. Comes to Patrick Hyde. Good start tonight for the Magicians. They have control of the puck in front of their own bench with Pat Hyde. He moves it back to the captain, Logan Broughton. Broughton's pass went off the shin pad of Caleb Petrie, the junior for the Demons. He's down in the near corner. He's scrumming with Pat Hyde over here on the near side wing, but it's all the way out to center for Jack Plemmel, who lost a handle on it. Minot High's JV team, by the way, won tonight by a score of 3-0. How about the performance from Schultz, the goaltender?
Yeah, he played very, very well. He kept them in it in the first period when they were outshot 13-2, and the Magician JV comes up with a huge win.
Nice job from Schultz putting up the goose egg in the JV game. Minot High started the night off right. Out to center ice into the Minot High end. TJ Ball walks and fires. Stick save there from Odin Nelson. Far circle it comes. This is Peyton Fillion. His dad was Tom Fillion. He was one of the best players to ever play for the Magicians. Bismarck High fans remember him in a bad way, as he was the reason that the Magi won the 1992 state championship 8-7 over Bismarck High. That night was the first night that a team from the West region was ever crowned the champion of North Dakota high school hockey. Larry, that has to be one of your favorite games all time.
It was pretty binding. We're at the old Ralph, and what a seesaw struggle that was. Teams returning, answering goal after goal, and it didn't look pretty there for a while towards the end, but that was just one of those nights where Tom Killian wasn't going to be denied, and he kind of took him on his shoulders, got a couple of big goals at the end, and that was obviously a huge win for the program. It kind of came just 18 years after the hockey program started at Minot High, so that's actually not that long of a period of time when you start from scratch in 74 and then you win it all in 92. With appearances in 85 and 89 in the final also, by the way, those turned out to be losses.
Bismarck High since that time has been in the big dance. The past 2 seasons they won a state title back in 2013. Bismarck High's been the real deal. They've been on the map for a while. They've just had a little bit of trouble with Grand Forks Central and Red River, 2 teams that were undefeated, by the way, that went 27-0 all the way through the big dance, where they took care of Bismarck High last year, did the Grand Forks Central Knights. Red River took care of them the year before. That was only a 1-goal game. 11:55 to play in the first. Scoreless game after the icing call. The Magi working for down in the offensive zone, but away with it for the High Demons, and up the near side, Wallace drew Leonard's out to center. Leonard's got it ahead. This is Chase Furman. Furman's in. He fires top of the circle. Blows it right by Odie Nelson on the blocker side. It beat him clean. And it's 1-0 Bismarck High on Chase Furman.
That goal comes in 5:19 of the first period. We talked the other night about one that Odie wanted back. Well, he's going to want this one back. It was from the top of the circles in the middle of the slot. Nobody in front to contest the shot. It wasn't tipped. It just, plain and simple, just beat Nelson.
For Furman, that's goal number 5 on the season, point number 10. We'll listen in to Duffy Dobeck. Puck's out of play.
Skater number 27, Chase Furman. The assist to the goal goes to number 5, Drew Leonards.
Leonard's getting the assist. The Magicians were getting in a little bit of trouble before that goal. They were a little sloppy with some giveaways and not breaking the puck out very well. And I was going to say that they were starting to get themselves in a little bit of trouble. And that time it did burn them for the first goal of the game.
Hunter Cope will touch up. This is a high stick call on the Magicians, so they'll come back into Minot High territory for the face-off on Odin Nelson's glove hand side.
Couple giveaways and a couple of uncontested shots by the Demons. And once again, Minot's wishes of getting the opening goal once again has not happened.
Odie Nelson coming into tonight's game with an 88% save percentage. Sits on a .315 goals against average. He's 5-7-1 here in his junior campaign. Carried the entire workload last year for the Magi. Only played in 1 game in his freshman campaign. He was under Cross Broughton, who had sensational numbers in the all-time top 5 for Minot High goaltenders after only 1 season of action for the Magi. That's the year that the Magi won the West Region for the first time in 11 years, 2016, the year there. All the way down it comes, back in behind the Bismarck High net, then pushed to center, out to Peterson. Right on center ice, he'll launch this one back in. Demons regain control, they set up shop, and TJ Ball brings it in. Ball's got 11 points on the season, not a bad year for the senior TJ Ball. Over to Jake File, out to center ice, File up to Bergrud. Threw it right into the no zone, through center ice. It was taken by the Demons there, and they handled down with big Dane Sardelli. Sardelli got it back away to the far wall. This is Dayton Deeks trying to go up through center, taken away by Stenberg. Stenberg trying to launch it forward off to Jake Vile and away to the near side wing. It comes back in Demon territory, thrown right in front of their net. Vile had a stick on it momentarily, but it caroms out to center ice where the Magi skate backwards into their own territory with Peterson moving ahead forward off of Vile. Down it comes, icing is waved off. Under 10 to play in the first. Minot High down by a goal, courtesy of the first one of the night from Chase Furman, his 10th point of the year. There's a hit on center ice as Davis ran into number 10 on the other side, Joey Heiner. Offensive zone it comes. This is Jack Plemmel. He had a shot at an empty net in that JV contest from about 15 feet away. His eyes were about the size of watermelons, and he missed the cage on the left side. Didn't matter, but that was one that he wanted back. Peterson's back to retrieve him behind the net of Odie Nelson. Off to opposed on the far wall, pushed up top of the circle. To center it comes. Mason Deal drops it off. This is Davis into the offensive zone. Makes the move. Now he hits the brakes. Puck is loose to Deal. Turns it towards the net. Ackerman down into the butterfly, and he makes the save.
A nice recovery there by Deal as he picks up a loose puck and fires it from the top of the circle. But the Magicians, nobody camped out in front, nobody there for the rebound, and there wasn't one anyway as Ackerman swallows it up and gets a whistle.
9 minutes, 10 seconds to play in a 1-0 first period. Bismarck High trying to add to the lead now as Graydon Stone carries out through center. It was taken away by Patrick Hyde on the near wall, and it's dumped back down in behind the net. Ackerman, the netminder for Bismarck High, looks on, is gaining a head of steam. There is Dayton Deeks up through center, off to Graydon Stone. Stone's hit, top of the circle, left side, big hit. Avery Beam throws a body on the near side wall. That was Furman that went to the ice, and there's Avery Beam, who started tonight with a little bit of energy for the Magi. Far point drive knocked down by Blake Nelson. Rolling puck towards the front of the net. Goes back away over to Haberman. And Haberman, who's playing forward tonight, goes up to Avery Beam. And Beam's into the offensive zone with it. Sent it over, back over, trying to connect there with Haberman. Taken by Furman. Furman's out to center. He's hit hard by Logan Broughton. Then Broughton frees the puck now to Pat Hyde. Hyde back in his own territory. Threw it back away in front of the Minot High bench. Offsides the call on the Demons. Face-off coming back to neutral.
The Magicians are hitting a few of those out-of-the-zone passes right away. It's so important to put that first pass on the tape and get it out of the zone. And now, the last couple of possessions, they've done that, and they've actually got it into the zone for some shots on goal. So let's see if the Magicians can keep on successfully breaking it out of their zone on that first pass.
Hurts over to Peterson, now up to Stenberg. Then it comes to Philly, and he's into the offensive zone blocker side. Hits the brakes. Looking for the outlet. Back to the point. This is Stenberg trying to throw it to Hurts on the far side. Puck taken down by the Demons with real estate up the near side wall. It's Isaac Olhauser. He just turns it back into his own end. Taken away by Fillion. He could not load the shot as that one was taken away by Petrie. Broken play there from the Demons. Puck comes back to the point. Hurts in the offensive zone. Now near side Peterson off the end boards. Trying to feed it down to Fillion on the trick play off the end wall. Puck goes away to the far side, weighing it out to center. Caleb Petrie's in, 2-on-2. Petrie met by Peterson, then Stenberg. Helping out here for the Magi at the top of the circle is Philly, and he got it up to Jake Vial. And Vial walks in, fires. This one hit a stick of Isaac Olhauser. It went up into the protective mesh and a stop of the play.
Nice hustle back on that 2-on-1 by Stenberg as he goes prone and blocks that pass that killed that 2-on-1. So Stenberg hustling as he always does on number 20 for the Magicians. 7:23 remains in period one. The Demons lead at 1-0.
Face-off controlled on the blocker's side of the Demon goaltender Ackerman. Puck comes up to center ice. Hyde touches it. High stick is the call. Referees tonight, by the way, Kevin Wilk and Eric Steele. On the lines tonight, you've got Jake Stack and Sam Smith. Face-off on Odie Nelson's glove hand side. He's got the white gear with the yellow trim on the Bauer pads. M's on each ear. That's CCM white goal mask. Pat Hyde's behind the net in his own D-zone. Moved it away to the near side up to Brent Davis trying to clear the Magi. They can't. Held in by Martire. Martire sends it in front of the net up to Dane Sardelli. It comes up to the near wall where Brent Davis, like a Sunday stroll, had the puck stripped from him, and it goes away to the far wing where Nick Murphy tries to clear. He can't. Puck is held in there by the Demons, but out to center now. Here's Nick Murphy. The sophomore, Nick Murphy's into the offensive zone with it. Murphy skates it down underneath the net, threw it in front. That one was knee-high for Brent Davis, and the puck comes back to center where Patrick Hyde's got it. Taken here, dumped in on Ackerman's blocker side. Magi go for a 4-for-5 change as Hyde, the one-man wrecking crew, down low, walks out, wrap around. Ackerman makes the stop, his fourth of the hockey game. Bottom of the circle, right side of the ice surface, Magi offensive zone. Puck comes around to the near side wing, and it's Dayton Deeks, the sophomore, with 9 points, moving it up the wall and sending it all the way down. 200 feet it comes. There's an icing with 6:11 to play in the 1-0 first. Bismarck High on top.
The whole Magicians lines changed that last time. Hyde elected to take the puck on in by himself, almost got the wraparound, but then he was pretty much gassed and had to get to the bench, and that gave the Demons a chance to break it on out of the zone.
Far side point. Sam Opposed couldn't get that one off in time. He was pressured by Zach Schmidt, and Schmidt brings it coast to coast in. Furman looking for his second of the night. Furman's got it underneath the net. Furman, bottom of the circle, far point to Cubs. Cross from Joey Heinert, make that Drew Leonard's back down low off of Isaac Olhauser. Graydon Stone's underneath the net, blocker side of Odie Nelson, cramming, shot save, rebound, then there's some extra. Peterson comes flying in to Graydon Stone and says, don't whack my goaltender.
And the Magicians, that's one place that they've kind of lacked in front of the net, getting physical and stirring it up with these teams that are skating into Odin's house. So it's nice there to see them standing up right away and getting those attacking forwards out of the blue paint.
5:46 to play in the first period, 1-0, Bismarck High with the lead. Sam Smith, the linesman, kicks Graydon Stone out of the circle. Puck comes back to Broughton off the draw around to the near side. Avery Beam trying to clear top of the circle in his own D zone. Taken there, launched right back in. Isaac Olhauser doesn't have a goal in the year, but he's got 4 points for Bismarck High as a blue liner. Avery Beam's in with it for Minot High. Beam crosses in. Speaking of no goals on the season, the sophomore has 1 assist, looking for his first varsity goal. Graydon Stone out to center ice, tries to get around Broughton. Broughton takes him down in the process. The Magi have real estate with Patrick Hyde up to Hunter Cope, and Cope is in. He scored in the JV game tonight. Cope goes coast to coast. Down underneath the net, trying to free it over to Avery Beam, directly underneath the goal. Puck squirts out on the glove side. We're down to 5 on the dot to play in the first. Bismarck High up 1-0 on Chase Furman's 5th goal of the year, point number 10. Only one to report. Shots are 6-5, and Minot High has the lead in the shot category. On the near wall, D zone for the Magi. It's Brock Bergerud that starts the rush up to center. His breakout pass was 4 feet in front of Hunter Cope. Comes back away to the near side wing with the Demons, who are on the prowl now. They dump it in. First power play of the night will come to Bismarck High, is dumped on the near wall. That was TJ Ball, and it's going to be Patrick Hyde that finds himself a seat in the sin bin. What will the call be? Is it a boarding or an interference? That will make a huge difference. It's a cross check, rather. 2 minutes.
12:26 will be the time of that penalty on Hyde. Yeah, he just got too much stick onto him right here on the red line in front of the penalty box. And that's what the Magicians have to avoid, and now they'll have to be shorthanded for half of the remaining time here in period number 1.
Off the draw, it's taken by Peterson and launched all the way down. Ackerman side of the net to play, and he moves that one ahead forward up onto the tape for Drew Leonards. Let's see what Mike Peluso's crew can do here. With the man advantage, it's Stenberg out with Jake Vile. Opposes on the back end with Peterson to kill this thing off. 20 seconds deep into it. With the puck and handling now up to the near wall, it comes to Graydon Stone. He's in over the blue line. Stone top of the circle, drop back. Big Dane Sardelli at the point. Crossed over to Drew Leonard. Sardelli one-timer. That one came flying in, but it was stopped in front of the net by Peterson. Taken away by the Magi. Stenberg has a streaking Vile. Stenberg puts it to the back of the skates, and the pass was no good. Vile gets it back to Stenberg. Somehow fires Ackerman the save, and the puck is controlled up the near wall. Defensive zone for the Magi. It's going to come, and Stone will move it in. Into Dane Sardelli. Sardelli hits the brakes, turns, fires, and Sardelli from the top of the circle has scored. It's 2-0.
And Sardelli's goal will come at 13:24. And I think Nelson might have been partially screened there by Sam Opposed. I don't know if Odie saw that all the way. But the penalty once again kills the Magicians. And the Demons now with a 2-0 lead.
We'll listen in to Duffy Dobek with the official call. Who's going to get credit with the assist for Bismarck High? We will find out. We'll listen in. Meanwhile, a drive in front of the net for Brent Davis off the tape there of Deal. So Graydon Stone gets the assist on the Sardelli goal. Shot in on Ackerman. The stop is made. Minot High now with some pep in their step, running around a little bit, trying to make it tough for the Demons here tonight, where it's taken out to center ice from Bismarck High and launched all the way into the Minot High zone. Taken down the near side wall. TJ Ball's in, throws it in front of the net. Nice play from Nick Murphy. Got back of the back check and interrupted that party. Now out to center ice. Murphy off to Deal. Deals in, turns it towards the net, but wide. 2 minutes, 38 seconds to play here in the first. 2-0. Bismarck High has the lead as they bounce one in on Odie Nelson. He'll corral it, and he hangs on to it here with 2:32 to play in the first, still 2-0.
You know, this is such a game of inches because the Magicians shorthanded had a breakout pass that might have maybe sent in a guy alone behind him a little bit, and then that resulted in a next rush coming down the ice, and Bismarck scores the power play goal. So just a couple inches was the difference between the Magicians threatening or Bismarck getting another one.
Speaking of a couple inches, a drive from the line comes in. Isaac Olhauser beats Odie Nelson, but it hits the pipe on the glove side and lays right in the blue paint. Face-off will come on the glove side. That one, if it would have been an inch to the left, would have been in the net.
There's 2:26 remaining here in period one. If you're just joining us on 1390 Cars AM, Magicians trailing in this one 2-0.
Posed off the draw out of his own DN, moved it over to Jake Vile on the far wing. Hammered off the end boards. Odie Nelson was out to play it for Peterson. Peterson at the goal line now, looks back over out of the tape for Opposda. Opposda sends it to Peterson. Terrible pass, and it comes right out of the tape there for TJ Ball. And Ball fired it wide. Karam comes out to neutral where the Magicians have it. Fillion into the zone, turns it and fires it. Oh, what a pad save. Puck comes back out to neutral ice. Ackerman has his save of the game. That's save number 9 for Ackerman. Other end of the ice, the drive comes in on Caleb Petrie's attempt on the left-handed shot. Odie Nelson into the butterfly, he corrals it.
Nice hustle by Petrie to even get a shot off there in between the dot and the goal line. See, if you're listening to this on Cars and you've got some loved ones around the country that wouldn't mind listening to Magician Hockey, send them to ProStyleProduction.com. It is streaming live as well.
Appreciate all those supporters making Magicians Hockey possible on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network. We cover Magicians and Beavers Hockey on ProStyleProduction.com. Drive comes in. The stop is made there from Ackerman. Jake Vile has it back top of the circle. Jake Vile's 14 points on the season, ranked the second lowest in the entire league, North Dakota high school hockey, for leading point getters on every team. The only team that has one player without more points than Vile is West Fargo. Hazen Beulah's leading scorer even has more than Minot High's.
Yeah, that definitely shows. They just really don't have somebody that is a true goal-scoring sniper. We talked about that the other night on Tuesday night. And the coaching staff still patiently waiting for somebody to step up and assume that role as we roll into the most important part of the season.
Odie Nelson was forced to make a save. Dane Sardelli launched one towards the net. The carom off the end wall was gobbled up by Nelson. Faceoff will come on his blocker side. Here's the 1 minute call.
1 minute remaining in the first period.
Thank you. Puck comes out to center ice. Right back in for the Demons. Glove side of Odie Nelson. Taken by Furman. He's got the game's first goal tonight. Graydon Stone battling on the far wall. Stone takes it away there from Opposda. Stone's in. Backhand. Tried to throw it in front of the net. Taken away there by Mason Deal. And Deal hits the brakes inside of his own blue line. Freed there to Peterson. 35 seconds in the opening frame. Peterson walks right into traffic. He lost a handle on it. Nick Murphy tried to hold the zone. He does. Throws it across the zone, but it comes right out of the tape here for Dayton Deeks. And Deeks is in. He turns it and fires it. Blocker save. Rebound off the back of Odie Nelson. And it's 3-0 Bismarck High.
Well, that was just a fortunate bounce off the back boards, and Nelson lost sight of the initial shot, and while he was looking up for it, it was getting shoved into the net by the Demons, and that goal comes at 16 minutes and 41 seconds, and the Magicians now have dug themselves quite the hole here in the first period.
I think that was Zach Kuhn with the goal. We'll have to listen in. If it was, that was the senior second of the year. I believe it was number 6. That shot here, let's listen in. Puck's on a play.
Skater number 13, Dayton Deeks. And the assist of the goal goes
So 13 from 15 at 16:41. That's Dayton Dietz from skater number 15, Zach Schmidt.
Deek's second goal of the year. 3 seconds, too. This is how period number 1 will end. And at the end of 1, it's Bismarck High out shooting Minot High 12-9. And Minot High gives up 3 goals in the first period. Tough night already for the Magi. Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report comes up next. Minot High trailing Bismarck High 3-0 at the end of 1. We'll talk to Jordan Willert. We've got an interview with Mike Peluso. We'll have all the stats and the recap for you at the end of 1 period played. This is Minot High Magicians hockey. They trail 3-0 at the end of 1 period to the Bismarck High Demons.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knopp. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
The areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
It's time for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Now for the stats, analysis, recap, and everything else Magi hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg.
9 minutes in tonight, it was Chase Furman picking up his 5th of the season. Bismarck High never looked back. In the first period, they lead 3-0 at the end of 1. Time for our Elevation Coach's Corner. Elevate your lunch or dinner game at Elevation. Jordan Willert is ice level with us. Coach, kind of a frustrating one. Good hockey game back and forth. You guys find yourselves down somehow 3-0 at the end of 1 with the shots 12-9. What's your biggest takeaway of period number 1?
Well, you know, I thought our kids competed. Yeah, I mean, it's a good hockey team over there. You know, they're relentless. They get pucks to the net. They got kids that can shoot, and you know, we just we need to get some more timely plays at certain times, and you know, we need something. We need something right to go our way. We need a bounce. We need something, you know, to find it. You know, get on the board.
Tell Jake Vial to switch sticks with somebody in there and see if that can shake out a few for him. Maybe, I don't know. Honestly, that. You know, those superstition things, stuff like that sometimes help. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem. See you, Nick.
Jordan Willert, assistant coach of the Minot High Magicians. You're looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm dead serious.
Well, Jordan loves all the boys in the room, obviously, as the kids all like him as well. And I think Jordan didn't want to get to the point that the goaltending's got to be better. And the goaltending needs to be better. And I would say that right to Odin, and I'm a friend of the Nelson family, but when you give up one from the logo from 30 feet, and then that, you know, it just, Odie needs to be better, as Coach Bennett said in Tuesday night's interview. He needs to be 90% save from now on. And they're not getting that right now. The other night, he played very, very well, I thought, against Century. They were a real good team that they just can't handle. This is a team they can play with if everybody plays well, and now tonight the goaltending was not good in that period.
Let's take a look at the stats and the recap from the period. Then we'll hear from Mike Peluso. Shots in the period, Bismarck High leads this category 12-9. Quality scoring chances, they've got Bismarck High up at 5-1. Larry, you want to give us a recap of the scoring? Who scored them for Bismarck High and at what time they got that done at? They found 3 in that opening period, including 1 on the power play.
Yeah, Chase Furman got him on the board at 5:19 on an assist from Drew Leonards. And then at 13:24 on a power play, Dane Sardelli lights the lamp from the top of the slot from Graydon Stone. And then Dayton Deese scores at 16:41. That was a killer, just 19 seconds remaining in the period on an assist by Zach Schmidt. And that one went off of Nelson, popped up in the air. He lost track of it, and it comes on down, and it gets centered right out in front, and they ram home the rebound before he really even found the puck. And all of a sudden, the Magicians get themselves in a 3-0 hole. And this year, it's been very difficult for them to get out of the basement, so to speak. And they're really going to have to find something if they want to get out today. The Magicians are not a high-scoring team, as we mentioned. They have to get 4 goals now just to try to win this game. And Bismarck's doing what they have to do. They're on the road and right now playing good enough to take the lead in Minot, and they're playing good enough to win.
This is the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Mike Peluso joined us before the game tonight. We'll hear from Mr. Mike Peluso coming up later tonight. Larry has his all-time Minot High Magicians stars of the game tally of who had the most. Can you give us a hint for the second intermission on who the best all-time performer was for the Magi during your radio broadcast time from 2000 to 2011?
Yeah, I think it was 2000 until 2011. I was thinking it was 2002, but it's further back than that. Absolutely no hints will be given until we get to the, as you can see, the long, long, long list of everybody that got an honor.
At that
Let's
time.
play some Love Gun.
3-0 Bismarck High at the end of one. We'll hear from their head coach next. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Now for the stats, analysis, recap, and everything else Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg.
Welcome back to the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Now joined by the Bismarck High head coach, Mr. Mike Peluso. Mike, as always, thanks for some time here tonight.
Absolutely.
West Region on a Thursday night, Minot against Bismarck. I know that we talk about this each and every night, but how much fun is this rivalry for you guys with your history with Bismarck High, Minot High?
Oh, it's in my mind, it's one of the best, especially out west. I know we've got a pretty good rivalry with our inner city team with Century, but for some reason, when you throw the two Maroon teams out there, things tend to happen, and it gets exciting. And it don't matter what year it is; it's always going to be a good hockey game.
Important in the standings as well tonight with Minot High, Bismarck High. Century kind of looks to be the clear-cut number one. But for you guys, how much importance do you place on a game like tonight against Minot High
High here in the Pepsi ring?
Well, again, we're a work in progress. We are every year. We're just trying to get all our pieces of our puzzle put together. We're still missing a few pieces. I don't know if they're stuck in the corners of the box or what, but we're going to keep rattling that thing around, see if we can find them, and once we do, I think we'll be all right.
Kind of fun watching those numbers for your goaltenders down there. Quinn Ackerman looks like he's turning in a pretty nice year. Touch on him a bit.
Well, I think Quinn's doing a good job. He's, I don't think he's a guy that's going to go in and win steal you hockey games, but I think with the way our team's structured and our team defense and everything out in front of him, I think he fits in very well.
Talking about tournament time coming up, just about 3 weeks away from the West Region tournament up here in Minot. Talking about some of the teams coming out of the West that might represent the West Region at the state high school hockey tournament after this whole thing's said and done. Any of these teams like Dickinson or Jamestown having you guys raising an eyebrow at all coming into tournament time?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be one of those deals where you better be prepared and you got to play good hockey and take care of yourself and not worry too much about what's going on outside, because I mean I think it's going to be a year where anybody can beat anybody, and squirrely things can happen, and I think East is the exact same way. Who knows what's going to happen out there, and it's going to be interesting. And, I think the teams that have got their game put together by that time of year, and we always look at it from an endurance standpoint, so we're trying to get as many bodies in as we can, because 3 games in 3 days, it's tough to roll a line and a half, 2 lines. You better have 3-4 lines and 6D rolling, or you're going to be in trouble.
I know that we talked earlier this year before the Christmas break that you guys were looking forward to Grand Forks Central and Red River coming down to the VFW Sports Center to get a measuring stick, maybe, if you will, on how the East is doing. Were you satisfied with your club's performance? Obviously, the outcome probably wasn't how you wanted it, being swept by those teams, but those were 2 good hockey games.
Yeah, you look at our losses to, Century, Central, and Red River. They're all 1-2 goal games, and, we're right there. We're still a work in progress, and I like to see where we're at and what we need to work on, and it gave us a really good indicator of what we need to do to focus on for February.
Final thing I have for you, I always like to ask you about the fishing world. Is Mother Nature cooperating with your fishing game at all, or the fish biting anywhere for you? Where's the special spot? I'm sure that's a secret.
No, I pretty much let everybody know. I've got a website, MikePalusoOutdoors.com, and I'm sharing all my fishing reports there. But it's been pretty good. We were down south of Bismarck on Lake Oahe this last week and did awesome on the crappies. And now this weekend I'm gonna head back up to Devil's Lake. It sounds like that's turning on pretty well. So we'll report back on that when we get back on Sunday night.
Sure, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck here tonight until we see you again at the West Region tournament.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's Mike Paluso, the head coach of the Bismarck High Demons. When we come back to the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report, we'll take a look at the stats from the period. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey. Listen, your wedding day is the biggest day of your life. That's why you need to talk with Nick Hulberg from Pro Style Production DJ Services. The experience, the voice, the setup, you won't be disappointed. 15 years of big arena hosting, announcing, and DJing speaks for itself. PSP DJ Services also handles premier events, reunions, or parties. Call 833-1007 or visit ProStyleProduction.com to book now. PSP DJ Services. Make your event Pro Style.
At Premier Chiropractic, we are dedicated to achieving the best results possible for our patients through the most cutting-edge advances in natural healthcare today. Improving movement, function, and health, improving life.
Call to schedule your appointment today.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Palmetto Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
We serve. First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
3-0 Bismarck High at the end of one period played. This is the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. I'm Nick Hulberg, next to Mr. Larry McFall here tonight. Always fun catching up with Mike Peluso, isn't it?
Yeah, Mike Peluso is an outstanding guy. Of course, for those that don't know, he graduated from Bismarck High School, and he went on to a great career at Minnesota Duluth, and then he got drafted into the NHL. He played for the Blackhawks. He played for the Flyers. One of the very first NHL players out of the Bismarck area. Minot can't even brag that yet. So, yeah, a funny thing about Mike Peluso is every time he used to come and play, Brandon, my son Brandon and I got to be pretty good friends with him, and we chat with him all the time on Facebook. And he always came to the Eck rink, and he would always complain how dark it was in there. And we had just got brand new lights over there 5 years ago, the state of the art at that time, and he still complained how dark it was. And he's always going like, can you guys shine your car headlights in the Eck rink so my team can see? So finally, when this building was built here with the LED lights that we have here now, there's a bus entry on the side of the building that most of the hockey people know about now, where the buses will pull up and unload and come right into the locker room so they don't have to mingle with the public here at the rink. So we put a pair of sunglasses in an envelope and taped it outside the bus door and said, for Mike Peluso on it, the first time they came here. And so he opens it on up, and here's the sunglasses we left him, just a cheap pair I bought at some C-store and threw them in there, and a note saying, here, you know, smart butt or whatever we said, you're going to need these because of the lighting in here. So we always joke about that. And the last time they were here for the exhibition game, I was driving Zamboni. The game got over. I pulled the nets off the ice. I did my edger, and then I was going to go down and visit him before they left and just wish him good luck for the rest of the year. And I go down there. All the players are still showering. And I go, yeah, Coach Peluso in there? No, we think he's gone. And so I asked the other coach going to the bus, I go, hey, Mike around? No, he's gone. So I call him on his phone, and I go, Coach, I go, where are you at? Are you still here? I go, I just wanted to chat with you for a little bit. He was already halfway out of town, pulling a ice house down to Snake Creek down there by Taunton Trail. And I'm just like, really? I mean, the other coaches have to worry about getting the players back to Bismarck, and you're, hightailing it. And that's why it was kind of funny when you talked to him about fishing. And, of course, I've never fished in my life. I think it's got to be probably, in my opinion, the most boring thing in the world to do. And I'm always giving him grief about, oh, did you go out and sit in a little house and drill a hole again today and sit and stare at the walls? And I'm always giving Mike a hard time. But I tell you, I've talked to a lot of people that say if you want a guide to show you where to go fishing with the knowledge that he has, it's Mike Peluso. And that's what he does in the summer. He's got a guide service. So just kind of fun. The guy's a good guy. He gets a little intense during games. And I know a lot of the referees don't like him because he yells at them all the time. But away from the rink, you couldn't meet a nicer guy than Jimmy or Mike Peluso.
Mike Peluso, outdoors.com. Mike Peluso, outdoors.com. Check it out. Yeah, great guy. We always appreciate his time. Great talking hockey with him, too. I mean, it's just the knowledge that he carries, the perspective that he has on so many things, playing in the Bismarck High program.
And to be an NHLer.
NHLer, yeah, absolutely.
And Minot, we're graced with a former NHLer, not born here, but Marty Murray, who's now coaching the Toros, of course, played in the National Hockey League, and it's nice to have Marty's influence in Minot as well.
Underway for the second frame. Minot High trailing Bismarck High 3-0. Start the middle frame. Minot High traveling from the left to the right for the second period. Right to the left for the Bismarck High Demons. Minot High in those white uniforms if you're just joining us tonight with the big M across the chest. Stenberg pushes it back into his own end. Off to Pat Hyde. Pat Hyde takes it back in his own territory. Then off to Stenberg. Stenberg hammers it off the shin pads of Jake Vial. I hate to rag on these kids not trying to do that. Centering feed comes back in. Sardelli fires top of the circle, and Dane Sardelli scores 4-0. Just going to say I hate to rag on these guys because it's obviously they're trying, but just the 4-foot easy gimme passes that are just whistled at each other's knees, just the simple basic stuff that you just wouldn't expect.
You got to be able to break it out of the zone, and they're not doing it. And there's another shot that beats Nelson from the top of the circle, and now he has been pulled, and Jordan Love now comes into the game in net for the Magicians.
Odie Nelson's going to finish with 13 shots on goal tonight. He made 9 stops on those 13. Jordan Love comes in. See how Jordan Love does here. 4 goals against average and an 80% save percentage for the Magi. Was Sardelli. That's his 4th of the year. Make it 5th of the year. He scored earlier tonight.
Assist to number 12, Nick.
40 seconds.
Connor Martire. Well, Bismarck High dumps it in back into the Minot high end. Blocker side of Jordan Love. Handled here by Peterson. He's going to work it back in behind over to Zamaposta. 15:25 to play in the middle frame. 4-0 Bismarck High. Puck up the near side wall, and it comes all the way down in behind Ackerman. Will it be an icing? It is.
The first time they got together in Bismarck, Jordan Love started the game. He gave up 3 early goals. Odin came on in and settled it down a little. Minot lost 5-3. Now Odin has trouble tonight, giving up 4. He's pulled out. Jordan Love comes in, and we'll see how Jordan does here with 15:18 remaining in period 2.
Well, you're going to have your good nights. You're going to have your bad nights. How do you respond from them is the question. Unfortunately for Odie tonight, those are just ones that you can't give up. Anything, that initial shot should never beat you. Not at the varsity level. There's some pretty good shots that come your way. That's just my philosophy on goaltending. If you can stop that first shot, you're going to be doing pretty good.
Right, and it all depends where the shots came from, but all those were from the top of the circle and the top of the slot with nobody contesting in front of the net. Those are the first shots you don't want to give up.
Feel bad for the kid. Not easy. Goaltender's a tough position.
Well, and that's why you and I both elected on purpose to be backup goalies. We just made sure we weren't quite as good as the other guy, so we wouldn't have to go out there and play a lot, right, Nick?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what my philosophy was when I was trying out for Gary Sampson's club back in 2002. Back in with it, Bismarck High with the puck. Leonard's a drive, 5-hole. That one beats Jordan Love clean, and it's 5-0.
Oh, boy.
That one fired on Drew Leonard's, his 4th goal of the year. Leonard's finds the 5-hole. This time, we're not even 3 minutes into the second period yet, and it's 5-0 Bismarck High.
No, if I would have brought a parachute, I would have already jumped from the press box and pulled the ripcord by now. That goal comes at the 2:41 mark.
Back in with it. Here's a drive coming. That one on the glove side of Jordan Love. We'll listen in to Duffy Dobeck on the call. While the Demons have it, turning it. Shot is stopped. Jordan Love makes the save. So it was Drew Leonard's on the goal.
Assists from 23 and 24. Preston Wachter and Landon Fisher.
13:47 to play in the second. Bismarck High up big, 5-0. But here's the kicker. The shots are only 15-10 in favor of the Demons. 10 saves on 15 shots just is not going to cut it in any hockey game. Feel bad for those kids. 13:31 to play here in the second. It's a lot of pressure. TVs here, newspapers here.
2 critical announcers on the radio are here.
But you know what? At the same time, because my whole philosophy on that is that you build a tradition and you hold a standard to which Minot High hockey's a big deal. This is a big deal. Hockey community is a tight-knit group. It's a big group. Like to see how that goes. Pat hides in the corner. He's being absolutely mauled over the corner by 15, Zach Schmidt. Meanwhile, puck comes out to Stone. He fires one in front of the net. Jordan Love makes the save, and with 13:13 to play in the second, the faceoff will come to Love's glove side. Pat Hyde having a conversation still over there with 15, Zach Schmidt. Can't believe they didn't break those two up after the draw, or for the draw after the scrum in the corner.
Hyde just gave him a little howdy-do from behind after the face-off with the two-fister, and no call on that.
Hyde's back in his own territory. Back behind Jordan Love, setting up shop and bringing it to the near side. Hyde fanned on the pass and gave it right to the Demons in front of the net. Puck comes back up to Furman, far circle. Furman turns it towards the goal. Hyde goes down hard into the corner. Without a stick, now the Magi are going to ice this one down. It's going to come right in on goal. Ackerman forced to make the save. Well, when you look at Bismarck High on the season, Ackerman's had some big nights. Ackerman's turned in some shutouts on the season, as had Austin Martin coming into the matchup tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shutouts on the year for Bismarck High.
That's pretty dominating against some of the teams they go against.
Here comes Pat Hyde up to center ice. You know what? At the start of the year, I said Minot High was my prediction to win the West Region. I've got a pretty solid argument on why that was. We only lost Bennett and Enns. That's a whole conversation. We should do a podcast one day. 5 minutes in here to the second, by the way, 5-0 Demons. But I kind of overlooked Bismarck High. Bismarck High might be the team that walks out of the West Region tournament with the #1 seed heading into the big dance over in Grand Forks. They've got so much depth. They're just a hard-working crew, aren't they?
Well, they are, but I really don't think that Century is going to get knocked off the top of the pedestal this year. They're just so good with that #1 line. If they stay healthy and nobody gets hurt, I can't see anybody beating the Patriots.
Puck handled by Philly, and he's into the offensive zone. Center slot, puts that one with the backhand up over the crossbar. No, it hit the crossbar, came down to Nick Murphy. Murphy was on the doorstep, but Ackerman made the save.
And the goalpost stopped the first one, and Ackerman stops the second one on the rebound there by Murphy. He was down on his pads, but he made the save with the skate against the pipe. Faceoff will come to his right with 11:21, and now Kevin Wilk stops the play for a second, and now he is ready to go. I think he was down adjusting the Magician net, I believe.
Martire kicked out of the circle there by Sam Smith. Puck taken by the Demons off the draw, and it's Olhauser that moves it away to the far side wing. To center ice we go. Martire handling here, walks in from center, fires, save, juicy rebound by Love. He turns it up. Puck comes back underneath the Minot High goal, back up to the point, and it's taken out to center. Murphy had it momentarily, and out Dane Sardelli on the near side wall that lost the handle on it to Nick Murphy. Murphy's in, top of the circle, feeds it in front. Fillion fired, oh, it was just wide. Puck comes back away to Hertz underneath. A little bit of energy here from the quote-unquote sophomores. 10:40 to play here in the second. Puck's underneath the net, worked back up to the point, got past Logan Broughton, and Hertz is back on the retrieve. Hertz hammers it up the boards on the near side wing. Comes up to the point, it's held in by the Demons, and Joey Heinert's in, but he's whistled for an interference call. Somebody on the Demons is, make it 6 instead. That's Zach Kuhn, the senior. 8 points on the year. Kuhn's gonna add 2 more minutes to the penalty total.
6:34 the time of that penalty. And if the Magicians want any chance of getting back in this hockey game, it has to be right now, Nick.
First power play of the night tonight for the Magi. Couldn't agree more. The beauty of hockey is that down 5-0, the shots are only 18-13. Minot High just didn't have any goaltending to start this one here tonight. Just an off night for the Magi net keepers. That's the difference in the contest. There's plenty of time left in this hockey game tonight to see if the Magi could somehow come up with some jam. Tall task at hand, though, however, when you're going against Quinn Ackerman with a 1.43 goals against average and a 93% save percentage.
And it's to the stage where they just need to fire the puck and get some shots on net. The time to pass the puck and be fancy is gone. You just have to throw it at the cage and see what happens.
Minot High has the puck down low. This is Mason Deal throwing it in front of the net. Off to Stenberg. Stenberg bump pass over to Deal. Left circle underneath the goal line now. To Gretzky's office for the Magi is Deal, who works it away to the near side. This is Jake Weil. Weil's back behind the net, walks out, turns, fires, Deal, sends it towards the goal. Oh, that was robbery. Quinn Ackerman made the stop. Wide open net. Jan goalmouth, and Ackerman got across with the Von Kenching mitt and says, I don't think so.
Yeah, good net minding there by Ackerman, making sure he slides across for that second effort. And that was a big save here with 9:35 remaining in the second, 1:10 left on the Magician power play.
Well, Mason Deal was on the doorstep. Deal had the big eyes there. That would have been goal number 6, point number 11 for Mason Deal. Out to center ice. Here come the Demons. Up with it is Caleb Petrie. Short-handed. Petrie fires right into the pads there of Patrick Hyde. Boy, Jordan Love came out of the net to make the save. He ended up sliding way over and out of position there.
Yeah, he was out of position. If Hyde don't block that, that might have maybe been another one.
Back in the other way as Brett Davis whistled for the offsides. No, he's not. They're going to say he's onside. The drive comes in just wide. Mike Peluso and Erickson are losing it over on the Demon bench. If they didn't have a 5-0 lead, they would be losing their minds.
Yeah, that was definitely an offside. I don't know why the whistle wasn't blown there.
8:46 to play in the second. Up 5-0 are the Demons. Minot high in with it. Logan Broughton turns it towards the net, wide on the blocker's side. Hit the stanchion in the glass. It popped out right in front, but no one home for the Magi. So Pat Hyde's back in his own territory to retrieve. Sends it up the near side wall. Nelson's in with it. Nelson turns it towards the net. Demons are at full strength. The Minot High goes 0 for 1 on their power play. Only the second power play of the night. The Demons are 1 for 1 on their power play that they had of the first. Back behind the net. Offensive zone for the Magi. Hyde whistles it over to the far side. Taken off the glass all the way down it comes. That's a full 200-foot clear attempt, and it's an icing on the Demons.
You could just see the frustration setting in on the Minot High bench, though. The coaches look like they're basically shocked. Jordan Willard, a blank look on his face. Just what more, as he talked about earlier, what more can you do to try to get this team ready to go and to go hard all the time? And right now it just looks like despair on the Magician bench.
5-0 is ugly. Not good tonight. Shots are 18-16 in favor of the Demons. They lead 5-0. Puck is handled down to the Minot High defensive end blocker side of Jordan Love. Puck turned away by Dane Sardelli, who's got it underneath the far circle. Now underneath the net, puck comes away now to Connor Martire. That's taken here by Peterson. If Peterson's going to go up to center, this is Chase Haberman in with it. Haberman slow on the approach into the zone, and Jake Stack whistles him up for the offside.
And that's something, just the little things of the game that right now at this stage just cannot happen. When you have a 3-on-2 rush, you got to make it good. And somebody in a little bit too far, and icing is called, or excuse me, offsides is called.
In on the draw, Mason Deal wins it over to Stenberg, and Stenberg whistles it in. Almost getting to that point of the night where you should start telling us about broom ball again. Boy, that story the other night was unreal. I listened back to the game and thinking about you playing goal in the broom ball league and having the best goals against average, and then 2 years later deciding to quote-unquote run out as a winger and leading the league in points.
Yeah, I won the scoring in the league that year in front of Gary Fiddler. It was a nice moment for me. It was fun.
Unreal. Hyde's back in his own territory to retrieve. Sent it over to Broughton on the near side. Now Viles got it.
I'm about ready to put my broom ball shoes and I'll go out there right now and see if I can get one for Minot.
Boy, the well is dry, isn't it? I haven't seen it this dry ever in the history of Magicians hockey.
Well, then you didn't see the outdoor season of '74 then, Nick.
Here's the drive coming from Broughton at the line.
She was not only dry, but it was awful cold.
6:30 to play here in the second period. Minot High down 5-0. Shots are 18-17 in favor of Bismarck High. Out of the corner, Deal turns it towards the net. Stop is made by Ackerman. Now it's handled here by Stenberg. Backhands it up to the point. This is Hyde that sends it back in behind the cage. Rolls around to the near side wing. Flipped up and all the way down the length of the ice. This one will come. Hyde out for a Sunday stroll. He'll let that one come down for an icing. So the faceoff comes back on Ackerman's blocker side.
You know, you always ask me, what can you do as a coach to get your team fired up when you're down 5-0? I'll finally ask you, well, what can you possibly do tonight to try to get the fire going? Right now it looks like the team just does not have any any hustle or anything left in them.
Here's the problem that I have on a night like tonight. It's Bismarck High, Minot High, the biggest rivalry that the Magicians have. It's a Thursday night. No student section showed up number one for the Magi. Again, the place is a morgue, which is to be expected. It's 5-0 with the Demons looking to add more. But when you look at the score clock right now, what sticks off the paper to you besides the 5-0?
The shots are even.
Shots are even. It's an 18-18 shot on goal game tonight, which I don't think Minot High's played a bad game by any means tonight. They've limited Bismarck High's chances and kept them to the outside. They've kept them off of the distance. We just had a off night from Odie Nelson.
You are right. 3 of those goals came in from long distance.
Can't blame it on one guy, but in the game of hockey, unfortunately, you can. If your goaltender doesn't play well, there's nothing you can do.
Because it's a goaltender's world, and everybody else is just living in it.
My only hope for that on the near side wall, Minot High is going to be back in with it. The only thing that I would say is it's just you would like to see your team battle for the kid a little bit harder. Somebody go find a goal for you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's easier said than done, obviously, but Bismarck High with the puck in their own territory. 4:41 to play in the second. 5-0, Demons with the lead. Puck comes away to the far side, fired out into the Minot High bench and out of play. 4:34 to play in the second, still 5-0. I don't know. I don't know what the solution would be. Do you have one?
Can you punt in hockey? Can you drop back and punt?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Bismarck High is a good team.
Yes, they are.
They beat Mandan most recently 6-0. They beat Devils Lake 8-0. They lost to Century 3-2. They beat Dickinson 6-rip. They lost to Central 3-2, and they lost to Red River 4-2. Last time Minot High played them was right before Christmas on the 21st. We lost here 3-0. Ackerman turned inside, make that Austin Martin turned in 22 saves that night. Odie Nelson turned in 27 on the other side. Hunter Cope's got the puck. He's going to skate this one out to center. Cope's in over the neutral ice line, but it's taken by Dane Sardelli, and Sardelli's got a head of steam, gets around Hyde. Now Hyde sweep checks him. Nice play from Pat Hyde, showing why he's been on the All-State ballot before in All-West region. Back the other way for the Demons. They have control again as they spin it down into Minot High territory. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to play here in the second. 5-0, Demons have the lead. Taken here by the Demons. They're back in, 2-on-1. Nice play there as diving back is Logan Broughton. He came in and interrupted the party from Zach Schmidt. Here's a drive in front of the net. That one sent just wide. Puck comes back up to Graydon Stone. Now it's going to come back up to the point. Trying to hold the zone are the Demons. They do. Stone has it, turns it and fires it. And Love goes down into the butterfly, gloves that one, and hangs on tight to it.
Nice glove save by Jordan Love that time. He came out properly on top of the circle of his crease, and nothing much to shoot out there for the Demon attacker.
Fifth stop of the afternoon, or the evening, excuse me, for Jordan Love. 3 minutes, 5 seconds to play in a 5-0 second period. The Demons from Bismarck High, led by Mike Peluso in his 10th season, have the lead. Larry touched on Mike Peluso and his time spent in the National Hockey League. He was a part of that 1992 game where Tom Fillion put on an absolute clinic over at the old Ralph Engelstedt Arena. Jake Vial back in with it. Vial turns it towards the net, high on the blocker's side. Ackerman made the save. Minot High has the shot lead at 20-19.
Peluso with Big and Thiel was just a dominating first line that year. Just destroyed Minot the 2 regular season games. And boy, did that swing in the championship game at state that year.
Yeah, they won both those contests like 10-1, 12-1, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And they just dominated. Big and Thiel, outstanding hockey players as well.
Puck handled by the Magi, and Peterson trying to clear the zone, threw it right up the center of the ice and knocked down. It's Caleb Petrie that's got it. Petrie in front of the net. Shot came wide off the tape there from Landon Fisher. Now an odd angle shot that sailed up by TJ Ball on the blocker's side, but wide. 1 minute 48 seconds to play in the second. It's 5-0. Minot High trailing Bismarck High as the Magi roll this one down the length of the ice. And we've got a conversation now with Opposda. Having a conversation there with Caleb Petrie. .142 to play here in the second. Glove side of Jordan Love. Puck dropped and it's taken here by Pat Hyde up the near side wing. Got it to Jack Plemel. Plemel across, went off the tape of Philly, and then it's hammered ahead forward. Plemel almost had a handle on it momentarily now. The Demons have it back with Sardelli. Connected it there onto the tape for Dayton Deeks. Up to center ice now, Peyton Fillion back in with it. Fillion, no look, backhand pass, and he cleared his own end with it. Boy, that coaching staff for the Magi had the same reaction I did. All their heads came up and looked straight ahead at the ceiling. Puck taken and fired in. Hit traffic in front of the net. Here's the 1 minute call from Duffy Dobeck.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
Thank you. Nick Murphy backhands it right to the Demon D-core. Comes back away now to the Demon Zach Kuhn. Fired in from center. Waffle board stop from Jordan Love. I don't know if Love's in pain down there or what he's doing, but shaking that left hand. Make it the right hand on the blocker's side. He looks to be in pain. 35 seconds to play in the second. 5-0. Demons with the lead. They move it out to center. All of a sudden, it's a 4-on-1. Back in. Stone turns it towards the net. He sent it wide of the cage. Puck comes back away underneath the Minot High goal. It's Pat Hyde with the backhand. Sent over to Avery Beam, and Beam's going to move it out to center. Threw it off of a Demon stick. Cut him down, kids. 10, 9, 8, 7. Peterson on the retrieve in his own end. Trying to clear the zone for the Magi. Avery Beam, 3 seconds to its own at center, and at the end of 2 periods played. The shots are deadlocked at 20-20, but somehow the Demons have 5 more than the Magi. It's 5-0. Thrifty White Drug intermission report comes up next. We're going to hear Larry's all-time list of most valuable players in the hockey games, #1 stars from the radio broadcast days of 2000 to 2011. That should be interesting. We'll have the recap of the period and hopefully talk to Jordan Willard as well. At the end of 2, it's Bismarck High 5, Minot High nothing. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
For lunch, frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knopp. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Systems go for lunch, frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space
First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
It's time for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Now for the stats, analysis, recap, and everything else Magi hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg.
Dane Sardelli Dane Sardelli leads the Bismarck High Demons with 2 goals tonight. The Demons ahead 5-0 in this West Region affair tonight. Nick Hulberg alongside of Larry McFall. Brian Bauman from the Minot Hockey Boosters will join us in just a second. But before that, Larry, how about a recap of this hockey game so far? Shots are 20-20, but it's been all Bismarck High tonight. They lead this one big.
Yeah, Bismarck's capitalized on just basically shooting the puck from the top of the slot. And for them tonight, the shots went in. The goaltending for Minot hasn't really been at the top of their game tonight. And so at the 42nd mark of the second period, right when the Magicians hoped that they could get back in the hockey game, Bismarck gets another one from Dane Sardelli on an assist by skater number 12, Connor Martyr, to make the score 4-0. And then they get another one just a little bit over 2 minutes later. Another goal, the second of the game, I believe, for skater number 5, Drew Lennertz. He was assisted by number 23, Preston Wachter, and number 24, Landon Fisher. Penalties in the second period, just one on Bismarck, a 2-minute interference call. That's a good thing about tonight's hockey game, only 2 minutes on each team so far. And the goaltender saves for the Magicians. Odin Nelson had 9 in the first. Love gets 11 in the second for a 2-period total of 20. And for Ackerman out of Bismarck, he had 6 in the first, 14 in the second for a game total of 20.
It's time for the Elevation Coaches Corner. Elevation, located at the Minot Country Club and open to the public 7 days a week. Elevate your game at Elevation. Now back to the ice for the Elevation Coaches Corner.
Special guest on this intermission edition of the Elevation Coaches Corner. It's Brian Bauman from the Minot Hockey Boosters, the director of the program, the coach of the Bantam A program. First of all, thanks for a little of your time here tonight. Boy, you're doing great stuff with that hockey program. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how things are going with, first of all, the numbers of the program overall? It sounds like you guys are just dominating with adding kids to the program each and every year.
First off, thanks, Nick, Larry, for having me. You know, we've gotten big support from our board, you know, the Park District, the community in general on our learn to play numbers and mites going through and keeping it fun for them and wanting them to come back to the rink every day. And that's kind of the big thing. You know, myself, Jared McIntosh, our whole coaching staff from top to bottom has been great and keeping the kids interested and wanting to be around the rink.
One of the things that I found really interesting earlier today when we were talking is that the number of girls players that are entering the program or that are in the program right now. Touch on that just a little bit on the girls hockey and how much that's really growing. I was just blown away by the number you said, around 100 girls in the program right now.
I would say this is my 4th season. I would say my first year we were hovering around that 30, 35 range, you know, and added a little the second. This year has really been, you know, we got up to 100 here, and, you know, hopefully next year we have a team at every level, and some of them we may have 2. And I think that's something that the parents are just buying in, that they don't have to play against the boys. They can play girls. When they have their own locker rooms, now they feel like they have their own thing rather than being one girl in a locker room, or they're on their own room and they kind of feel a disconnect between the rest of the team.
How much has this new Pepsi rink benefited the Minot Hockey Boosters program? It has to just be so super for you guys having this third sheet of ice that you guys can play on. I know that you talked about enough practice time and everything for everybody. How's that going?
Oh, I mean, it's been huge, and people have to realize, you know, top to bottom, the success of Toros, Marty's help with our program, you know, Minot State, Minot High even. You know, I know it was 3 years ago winning a state championship. That stuff goes a long way on having the younger kids to have something to look up to, and it makes a big deal.
Brian, Nick had mentioned the thing about the ice. Can you just touch on just for a second, because a lot of people ask me about the All Seasons Arena. Right now at the All Seasons Arena, we're up to the most sheets of ice we've ever had in Minot with 4. If the All Seasons Arena goes away, we're back down to 3 sheets of ice again. So as the coordinator, is there any situation, has anything been decided for next year and the years to come that will keep it at 4 sheets of ice? Because we build up to 4, you don't want to drop back down to 3 again.
No, we absolutely don't want to. And on a Minot Hockey Booster level, you know, we know that we're locked in for next year at all seasons. After that, that's something we're going to have to look at, and would be a huge detriment to our program. We should be looking at adding 5 before we go back down to 3. You know, I mean, we have the mites. Kids are getting ice time that they didn't get before, times that they didn't get, and even with 4 sheets, we're on the ice Monday through Thursday at 6 a.m. So, not that it's a bad thing that they have to get up and go, but going down to 3 would affect our program hugely.
I was going to comment, Nick, too, and Brian, about the help of the Toros and Minot State for these kids. For a few years, all the varsity level games were played at all seasons, and the kids here at Mesa on the other 2 sheets never got to see these guys. They didn't get to idolize them. They never got to see the college team or the high school team. Now being under one roof, basically, except for what you send out to all seasons for practice, and having the Toros and the college kids out on the ice with your kids with those jerseys on. I see those little kids. Their faces are just lit up.
Absolutely. You know, and they're going to relate to those players a lot more than they are the coaches at that age. And again, they're going home and they're saying, I want to play for the Toros and I want to play for Minot State. And you know, the Toros to us are what UND is to Grand Forks. You know, I mean, if they don't have something to look up to, we might lose them to basketball or swimming. And again, not that that's a bad thing, but obviously we want as many kids as possible playing hockey.
Wanted to talk to you a little bit about this Bantam A program that the whole state of North Dakota is talking about, and how fantastic your primary team that you coach. I know that you're obviously the program director, but Bantam A's are the team that you coach each and every weekend, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but boy, you guys have a sensational team. It sounds like you guys are the team to beat in North Dakota. You want to touch on your Bantam A squad a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I think it's a culmination of the amount of ice time they're getting, the work the kids are putting in, you know, instilling a compete effort outside of skill that there's no will to quit. You know, we want to be the team that everybody plays, and regardless of the score, when they get in the room, they don't want to play us again. Whether or not they won or lost, they don't want to have to play Minot again, whether it's Bantam A, Bantam B1, Bantam B, you know, all the way down to Pee-wees. We want to compete, win every battle, do all the little things that can get these kids to the next level.
Well, I just had 2 more things for Brian, Nick, before you finish it on up. As the director of ice operations here at the rink, I'm just really excited for the 2nd year in a row of having that state Pee-wee tournament here. I know that's on a submitted bid basis to get the different level tournaments, but the hockey boosters, I think, and this facility knocked them dead last year with that Pee-wee tournament, and obviously as it's returning again, and that was a great time last year, and looking forward to having all those Pee-wee teams come into town. It really adds, obviously, to the economy in this city as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're on slate for somewhere between 28 and 32 teams, depending on how it shakes out. You know, and again, you know, efforts not just from the Minot Hockey Boosters. You know, it reaches out to the Park District. They've taken care of, you know, the coaches and VIP room for all the food and refs, and, you know, Minot State and the Toros helping out with doing the clock. You know, I mean, we had like 60 games or something last year, and that's just not something that you can do just ourselves. And the amount of thanks and appreciation just doesn't go far enough. You know, even reaching out to Jared Olson, you know, moving here, being new, the transition was, I feel, pretty smooth because he was, you know, kind of hands-on and guiding on where we were going and where we were trying to get to.
And that tournament, I believe, is the first weekend in March. So for you folks that want to come out and watch some great youth hockey, the first weekend in March. One more question before Nick finishes it off is, last year you kind of experimented a little bit with indoor lacrosse. As Minot boys, Nick and I, we'd never even hardly seen lacrosse unless we turn on TV and Colgate's battling Yale, you know. And now you brought the indoor lacrosse here. and it seemed to really take off enough to the fact that right now talks are in the works for getting turf in here in the summertime so you can actually play on turf instead of concrete. That's got to be exciting to get that program going. How were the numbers the first year?
Yeah, you know, we had about 130 kids through for the lacrosse, and that was just through the Minot Hockey Boosters.
Wow.
We got a couple kids that weren't, but that was just Minot Hockey Booster kids, and it's a sport that relates very well to hockey. You know, hockey got rid of checking at the Pee Wee age. Lacrosse has full contact from 8U all the way up. So it's a way that we can teach more away from the rink on feet to a more level playing ground to a kid that's got on the ice at 10. You know, not that you can't pick up hockey, but if you're coming in at 12 years old, no matter how athletic you are, you're going to be behind the ball and be frustrated with the kids that started earlier. And lacrosse it's by far the fastest growing sport in our country. I mean, Minnesota is full-fledged varsity programs. There's about 4 more programs in North Dakota and South Dakota, and this summer we're hoping to be part of that program. At worst, we will 100% have our indoor going again next year.
Fantastic. And you know, by the way, goalies don't stand a chance in lacrosse. To come up to you with what's the stick called?
They're sticks. They're just called
sticks.
It's
just called a stick.
Yeah.
I always used to call it a basket. A guy can run up 2 feet away from you and wing it at you with the basket. The goalie's got no clue.
And we'll put it in relative terms to goalies. A 40% save percentage in lacrosse is All-American status.
Yeah, it's 24-20, you know.
So,
final thing I have for you. It's a trivia question. Let's have a little fun here with you. Broom ball was a thing back in the late 80s in Minot, North Dakota. The man that's standing or sitting to your left was a broom ball icon in Minot. He was on the top team Morelli's distributing. The trivia question is this. Was Larry McFall the leader in goals against average in his broom ball career, or did he win a scoring title in his broom ball career, or did he do both?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he probably did both.
You're correct. He did both. Can you believe that?
I've seen some old tennis pictures. I've seen some old stuff, so I'm sure he was pretty fleet on his feet back then.
2 minutes away from the start of our third period of play,
no
Brian.
Longer.
Great job with the youth hockey program.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We're sure proud of what you're doing there. Keep up the great work, and we sure appreciate your time tonight and what you're doing for hockey here in the Magic City.
Thank you.
That's Brian Bauman, the director of the Minot Hockey Boosters, doing a fantastic job with the Minot Youth Hockey program. Both teams return to the ice. We'll take a quick break to thank our sponsors that make these games possible.
And in the post-game show, we will go through the...
Let's keep it right here.
We don't have time. We'll do it in the post-game show.
We'll do it in the post-game show. We'll talk about Larry's all-time greats. They're putting 17 minutes on the clock. Let's just thank First Western Bank and Trust. That's who we're going to hear from. First Western Bank and Trust.
Steve Fundingsland.
You know what? Steve and Jersey Benson helped me get myself into a new Suburban the other day. I sure appreciate what those guys do, and they're, I mean, just talk about an experience there. You feel comfortable, you feel great. Steve knows what he's doing. Jersey knows what he's doing. I mean, those guys are awesome.
And Steve, actually, I went through some rough water about 10 years ago. I had to file bankruptcy. Steve was the first one to borrow me some money and help me start getting on my feet there, and also helped me with the home equity loan as well. So First Western Bank has my vote as well.
Yeah, First Western Bank doing a great job. First International helps us out. Also, we appreciate both of those banks here in town. Bremer's on the list also. Those banks sure help out the high school stuff. 16:39 to play here in the third. 5-0. Bismarck High has the lead on the Magi. From Minot High, Stenberg has the puck over in the offensive zone off to Pat Hyde. Out to center we go. Into the offensive zone it comes for the Bismarck High Demons and Joey Heinert. Top of the circle, Heinert has a blocker side of love. Now Pat Hyde's got to rush out to center. He's got Stenberg with him. 2-on-2 drill. Hyde tries to make a move, a fancy one, then another, then Hyde's taken to the ice. And Ackerman will hold tight to him.
I don't even know if Hyde even looked at Stenberg that was with him. They got to make sure that they try to move the puck, get the best opportunity to break it in the zone. Face off to the left of Ackerman. We're just 51 seconds into period 3. We're 1 goal away from the doomed running time in high school hockey.
Out of the corner, the Magi come there with Nick Murphy. He tried to fire one on. The stop was made from Ackerman. Boy, that Bantam A team sure sounds like they are wheeling and dealing in North Dakota.
They're doing really well on the Pee Wee A team as well. Very good season. In fact, I don't think they've lost a hockey game. I might be wrong, but the Pee Wee A also doing very well. Looking forward to seeing them in the state tournament here in March.
So things are looking up for the program for Minot High hockey tonight. Kind of a sour one. This is such a huge rivalry with Bismarck High. It's been all Demons on the scoreboard. They lead 5-0. Minot High leads the shots 21-20. We're in the third period. Can the Magi get one to fall? Approaching quite a few minutes now of shutout time from Bismarck High. Last time these two teams matched up on this ice surface was the 21st of December, right before the Christmas break for the high school teams. For the high school, I should say, for the school itself. And it was Bismarck High that walked out of here and hopped on the bus, drove back to Bismarck, smiling with a 3-0 win.
Except the coach that was towing the ice fish house across the Ottawa.
Demons with control of the puck. Big hit. Opposed runs in to 7 down low. Caleb Petrie. Demons regain control at center. They move it ahead forward. Opposed gloves it, drops it down, and then fires it forward. But it's taken there by Drew Leonard, and he sends it back in. Love was out of the net to play it, but it got past his goal stick. Comes up now to center, and here's Avery Beam. Beam wheeling and dealing on the near side wing, trying to get it up over the center ice stripe. He's got the help of Haberman, but it's taken by the Demons of Petrie, and he sends it right back in. Hyde has it behind the net now. Far circle, top of the circle out to center. Haberman trying to move it ahead forward. Puck rolls back into Bismarck High territory, and on the retrieve there's Dayton Deeks, who carries out to center, and then Hyde takes it and sends it right back in. Ping pong match at the neutral ice zone as Hyde's going to have it one more time on the near wall. Chipped it up off the boards. Avery tried to get it away over to Deal. And the puck will be taken now back by Pat Hyde. No look backhand pass over to Broughton, and Broughton's going to take it, moving ahead forward. Into the offensive zone for the Demons over the Minot High stripe. Joey Heinert, the sophomore, 17 points for him. Coming into the matchup tonight, second in scoring for the Demons, only behind Caleb Petrie. Puck sent over to the far corner, hit the gooseneck implement dasher board, dropped down now to Dane Sardelli. Sardelli trying to wrap around. Pat Hyde's going to be charged.
Holding. Yep, holding. And that's going to be at 3:30 here of period number 3. And it'll be Hyde going to the sin bin for holding for the Magicians.
So Hyde goes to the box. Second power play of the night comes out for Bismarck High. They're 1 for 1 on the man advantage.
Second penalty on Hyde. He's the only Magician to go to the box tonight.
Glove side of Jordan Love. Hammered 200 feet the length of the ice all the way down it comes. Ackerman leaves that one aside the net. Well, if Ackerman can pitch the big goose egg here tonight, his numbers are only going to improve. .929 save percentage and a 1.43 goals against average. Those are some styling and profiling numbers. Looking good for the Demons. Here's a drive coming from the corner. That one went wide off the tape of Zach Schmidt. Now connecting, Petrie. Make it Schmidt, side of the net, fires on. Love stopped him with the pad. 120 on the power play for Bismarck High as it's taken and wrapped off the glass. Out and down it comes. Out to play it on the left of the goal for Bismarck High is Ackerman. He leaves it there with 12:40 to play in the third. 1 minute 10 seconds to play on the power play. 12:36 in the third period. Bismarck High tried to send this one to run time. It's 5-0. They walk in behind the net with it. Out with Landon Fisher. Sends it in front. Taken away. And Nick Murphy hammers it up the wall and all the way down. Ackerman at the side of the net to play it. Left it there in behind for Drew Lennertz. Here's the senior Lennertz up to center ice. Connects onto the tape for Landon Fisher. Fisher, then Braxton Neese. Haven't heard much from Neese tonight. He takes it down into the corner. Blocker son of Love. It comes out back to the point. Demons at the line. Here with Deeks. Fires it forward. That one goes to the blocker son of Love. Down to 30 seconds of the power play for the Demons. Backdoor feed. Neese has it now. Bottom of the circle. Neese had it taken away, and Broughton tries to clear the zone. Just flutters it right up and onto the tape for Landon Fisher. Fisher just moves it right back in. Here's Hertz. He'll put some muscle on it and launch at the full 200. The stick save is made from Ackerman. That will do it for the Demon power play. They're 50% tonight, 1 for 2. Here comes Pat Hyde out of the box. When he does so, the Demons will have possession of the puck down to the Minot high end, but first and offsides on the Demons. 11:27 to play in a 5-0 third. Bismarck High with the lead.
No referee was watching when Zach Kuhn and Blake Nelson got together over on the blue line, got a shot to the face and a slash behind the referee, and no call. Those two guys get away with getting a little rough.
That compete level from the Magi has been what Jordan Willard has preached all year long. Somebody compete for us. At least be upset that your biggest rival is sticking it to you, not only beating you, but working you. Here's a drive on goal. Love makes a save, then another rebound turned aside. Puck taken here by the Magi. Avery Beam went down hard. He's limping. Puck back up to the point. Shot in. Love gloves it from the line, and the faceoff will come to Jordan Love's glove hand side here with 10:58 to play in the third.
And I think that shot even got deflected in front by Sardelli, and Love still a nice save on the top of his crease. And now the faceoff will come to his left. We've got 10:58 remaining in regulation play. If you're just joining us, the Demons up 5-0, even though the shots on goal are only 3 shots different in this tilt.
Deal will dump this one into the corner on the blockers side of Ackerman. Puck taken there by Drew Leonards. He wraps it around the wall, far side, top of the circle, trying to clear the Demons. They can't. It's held in by Logan Broughton. He'll fire it towards the net, but it went off of traffic, then into the near corner. Back behind the net, trying to work it out for the Magi. This is Vile. Vile has it underneath. Vile onto his backhand. Throws it in front of the net. Threw it up to Stenberg, and Stenberg robbed on the play. Out to center now. It's Petrie and on Logan Broughton. Nice play from Logan Broughton. Intercepted it now. A drive comes in. Went wide of Love on the glove side. Puck taken here by the Magi. Look out. Up into the seats. And a Souvenir will find a fan with 10:11 to play in the third period. That one came right at us, Larry. 5-0 Demons.
Yeah, I knew you would have had it, though, so I wasn't worried about it. It came in from my right.
Last year I was up here with Dan Sem, and I caught one glove hand right here. Came right, I mean, it was going to hit Danny in the face, and I grabbed it out of the midair, took it back with my left hand. I threw it back out onto the ice to Darren Medler.
Did it hurt?
Nathan Medler. No, it stung a little bit, but it was kind of a flutterer. Wasn't a howitzer by any means. I threw it back out to Nathan Medler. You know, just the bang-bang play, icing on the Magicians, by the way. And he missed it. I caught it up here like this, take it, throw it back out, and it hits him in the hands, and he bumbles it a little bit and dropped it.
Well, he probably didn't want his fingers to get broke. On the momentum of the puck coming from up here down to there, you probably could have taken him out.
10 minutes on the dot to play in the third.
Do you have announcer's insurance for stuff like that when it happens?
Usually you don't have to worry about getting hit up here.
No. Not most of the time.
But anything can happen. Near side wing, defensive zone for the Magi. Fillion with a no-look backhand pass. Spins that one 200 feet the length of the ice.
And it's not, and we want to make sure we let the listeners know now, the Magicians looked a little disappointed in the second period, but they by no means have went away. Their compete level is fairly well here tonight. They're only being outshot 25-22. They've kept their penalties to a minimum. This was just a story of a couple of shots that you don't see go in on this level go in tonight, unfortunately, and that was the thing that got the Magicians in the hole.
Landon Fisher had a chance right in front of Love, and Love stoned him. Back in, Caleb Petrie walks, turns, fires. Love made the pad save. Love makes another stop, loose in front of drive. They score. And now we'll go to run clock as Love made 2 stops in front. And then the Demons add another. Who is it, Caleb Petrie? Or is it 21 instead? I believe it's Braxton East that's going to get credit. We'll have to listen in.
7:41 will be the time of that goal for Bismarck. And we are now on running time. The clock is running right now, as a matter of fact. We'll wait for the announcement.
We'll get to Buffalo Wild Wings quicker tonight. That's the only positive, I guess. We'll listen in. It is Nice with the goal. Petrie gets the assist. Nice gets the goal. Puck rolls all the way down. There's an icing. And the goaltender played that before it got to the end line. Sam Smith threw that one dead.
No, Eric Steele did, because there's an elbowing call. And that is going to come at 8:41 here. And that's on the Demons. Skater number 17 goes to the pit of misery to feel shame. That's Dane Sandelli.
8 minutes on the dot to play in the third. 6-0. Bismarck High with the lead. We're in run time. Power play comes out for the Magi. Hey, if you're buying or selling a home, let Century 21 Action Real Estate agent Andrew Goodmanson make your experience a positive one. Give Goody a call today at 701-240-1965. That's Century 21 Action Realtors agent Andrew Goodmanson at 701-240-1965. Short-handed is Petrie. He's in over the offensive line. Petrie takes this one to the blocker side, met there by Logan Broughton. They collide into the end wall, right at the Zamboni door. Look how Pat Hyde is putting the wood right to the back of Petrie. Look at Pat Hyde going to work on him.
He's going to get a penalty, too.
He's going to go to the box. And Caleb Petrie.
Yeah, you just can't do that, Nick. Cross-checking 2-3 times from behind. That's Hyde's third penalty of the night.
Patrick Hyde talking to Kevin Wilk about it. Absolutely nothing to talk about there, my young man.
We'll call it the 10-minute mark as the clock kept running. Cross-checking will be the call on Hyde. And there goes the power play that the Magicians did have.
Face-off on the blocker's side of Jordan Love. Peterson trying to clear the zone. Comes away here to Fillion. Backhand, trying to move it ahead forward. Now it's taken by Peterson, and Peterson's in with it. Peterson, top of the circle, blocker side, fires, goes up into the protective mesh, and look out. Lands right on top of the goal judge behind the Bismarck High net.
Dangerous job back there, goal judging.
Usually doesn't happen. Blocker side of the goaltender, Ackerman. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the third. Bismarck High up big tonight, 6-0 over the Magi. Bismarck High is going to improve to 6-1 overall in Center West region play. Minot High is going to fall to 5-4 in the West. Demons are on the power play now and at full strength. Nick Murphy has it inside the blue line, tees it up right into traffic. I've never in all my years of announcing Magician hockey seen a team that fires it into traffic as badly as the Magicians do this year. They've just had a hard time finding any lanes. And I don't know how else you say it. I mean, it's a hard game to call when there just isn't any synergy. There just isn't, they're just having a hard time with some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's just been a lot of things have been going wrong tonight, but you're right. They're trying to get into the zone, and they're just blasting it off guys' shin pads instead of maybe taking a few more seconds to try to get a better angle around them before you dump it. There's a lot of small things tonight that just haven't went their way.
Puck handled now by the Magicians back in their own territory with Logan Broughton. Back to full strength are the Magicians. Hides out of the box, comes up to center ice. Stenberg's into the offensive zone with it. Here's Kyler Stenberg underneath the net. Takes it down into the near side corner. Puck moved away up the wall and pushed out to center ice. Broughton's back on the retrieve, but he's hounded by two Demons. 4:40 to play in the third. At center ice, Stenberg had to go right between his feet. Puck comes back up the near side wing. Defensive zone for the Magi. Pushed ahead forward, back to Stenberg. Stenberg's pass too far in front of Jake Vial, and it rolls all the way into the offensive territory. Around the near side wall, defensive zone for the Demons, and Graydon Stone. He pushes out to center ice. Right in front of the Minot High bench. Stenberg back on the retrieve for the Magi. He'll take it on the blocker side of Love. Stick around for the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show tonight. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports, and an icing on the Magi.
And there's another opportunity where the Magicians had an opportunity for a nice pass into the zone, and it went a little bit too far and results in an icing. The clock is running here. 3 minutes and 52 seconds and counting. See, I want to say hi to Lane Johnson. My stepson just texted me. He's listening back in St. Paul, Minnesota, listening to the broadcast on Pro Style Production. Tonight was just a night where the shots on goal are only 26-23 for the Demons, but 4 easy goals on the Magician goalies at the start of the game. This might have been one of the nights where we needed Lane Johnson in the net. Just a bad game for Oda Nelson. I feel sorry for him. And Odie definitely will be back. I guarantee that.
Late call coming on the Magi. Blake Nelson, then Oposta's underneath the net, and Oposta absolutely giving it to Heinert. Now Heinert's going to go back after Oposta. There's Nelson throwing a body over there, and finally something to applaud for the Magi. Yeah, they're going to the box, but they're showing a little bit of heart here with 3 minutes left in the third.
That penalty will come at 13:54. It's a roughing call on Magician skater Sam Oposta. And also going into the box is 36. That's Blake Nelson. So the Magicians get 2 out of that deal, and Bismarck gets none. And now the Magicians 2 men short for the last 2 minutes of the hockey game.
2:30 to play here in the third, 6-0. You go back to those days, the time frame that Lane Johnson played. Graduate of 2003, one of the best goaltenders to ever play at Minot High School. If they would have got thumped by Bismarck High 6-0, there would have been blood on the ice. That's no exaggeration. That's back in the old school days where the Magi just wouldn't go for that. Somebody would have been injured.
It never happened.
Drive comes in, just wide of Love on the glove side. Back to Sardelli holding the point. Centering feed comes across. Far side point, Demons have control of it. Sardelli calling for it. Heinert's just going to walk, turns and fires, sent it wide. Back to Sardelli.
A rough and an elbow were those 2 penalty calls on the Magicians.
Now Leonard's dishes off down to the bottom of the circle. This is Wachter behind the net. $1:40 to play here in the hockey game. 6-0. Demons with the lead. Sardelli tees it up. Went off of Stenberg and it went wide to the corner. Taken now by Leonard's. Back up. Sardelli turns it towards Love's blocker side, but wide. 1:25 to play in the regulation. Here's a drive from the line. Sardelli robbed there by Love, and Love hangs on to it.
Nice save by Love there. He's been playing pretty well since he came in the game. The goal scored on him in this period, is after he made 3 sprawling saves, and the posse didn't arrive to help him on the 4th shot. We're now down to 1 minute remaining in regulation. Clock still running.
Here's a drive coming in front of Love. It went wide. Graydon Stone's got it underneath the net. Stone walks, turns, fires. Love look behind him. Taken there with a backhand, and Hunter Cope sends it around.
Penalty coming up on Bismarck. That'll be on number 27, Chase Fearman. And he's going to get an interference call at the 16:30 mark, I'll call it. Interference, I assume, would be the call. Yep, that's what it is.
Blake Nelson go to the box, back again to the box. 2 minutes for charging.
Oh, boy.
20 seconds to play here in the third.
Oh, man.
Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show comes up next. Minot's Finest Collision Center stars of the game. How do you come up with any tonight for the Magi? Oofta. Count them down, kids. 6, 5, 4, 3. All Bismarck High tonight. They crushed the Magicians 6-0 on Minot High's home ice. Final shots on goal, 27-23. But Minot High falls 6-rip tonight. This is a rough one for the Magi here this evening. High expectations of the Magi tonight, trying to pick up a split on the week with the Bismarck schools. Nowhere near that tonight. Larry and I will tell you how it happened tonight. Give credit to Mike Peluso's club, however, the Demons, they're good. They show that they're 6 better tonight than the Magi. Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show comes up next. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
National Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Go for lunch, frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Stay
hour.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show with the recap, stats, analysis, coaches' thoughts, Minot's finest collision center stars of the game, and all the wing sauce you can handle. Let's return to the press box with Nick Hulberg
And Mr. Larry McFall tonight for the recap of the 6-0 beatdown, courtesy of the Bismarck High Demons tonight on the Pepsi Rank Ice surface. Larry, before we go any further, we're waiting on the official score sheet up here tonight. I know that you've got some good stuff for us with what we missed at intermission. Why don't you give us the rundown of what you got on that scratch paper there in your left hand?
Well, when Rob Hall and I started broadcasting the high school hockey after a couple of years of no broadcasts after Charlie Fox and Tony Swearingen, the older Tony Swearingen, not junior, we're doing games. We decided that we would start broadcasting again, and we had a nice 11-year run. And we gave out, at that time, a Fast Check Player of the Game because Jeff Stremick and Fast Check Company was one of the sponsors for that. And it was kind of neat to keep track of who we thought the number one player of the game was for Minot. And I charted them for boys and girls for 11 years, and I don't ever throw anything away. I save all the papers, so... the other day I decided to print out the all-time, and obviously it's not all-time Minot High hockey, it's all-time broadcast from 2001 or 2000 season until 2010. And there was a lot of players that just had one award, quite a few of them. A couple of guys that had... some guys that had two players of the games over that whole span was Isaac Tangadal, Brian Boyeff, Josh Tome, Brandon Tollefson. Then we had 8 players, or actually 9 players that had 3 over all those years. As, by the way, if you're wondering what he's doing here, Nick, Brandon McFall is zamming half of the rink. Minot State is taking their team pictures tonight down in one end. I know you kind of look down there like, what is he doing? So that's what's going on down on the ice right now. Gunnar Myers, Clint Nordstrom, Shane Kunans, Casey Kresba, Chance Kraft, Brandon Schmidt, Jordan Kelly, Sam Ebert, and Jory Bright had 3. Then we had some guys with 4. And Lane Johnson was one of them with 4. Another goaltender through the years, David Bowen with 4. Tyler Stahl, another goaltender with 4. Jared Schumeyer with 4. Nathan Stremick had 5, along with Ty Gallant, Andy Didis, Matt Lazat, who, by the way, once again is $30,000 richer with his big poker victory in Minot a couple of weeks ago. And then also Rand Hammer with 6. And then with 8, it was Joey Jutnan, Darren Medler, Brett Fiddler, Tyler Lundy, Colton Anderson, and then we get Jarrell Burkhart as well. And now the top 5 in all those years.
I'm excited.
Do you have any idea who the top 5 would be?
Did you already say Medler's name, Darren Medler?
Yes.
You said Medler.
Why, you weren't listening to me again?
I was. I've never seen only half the ice jam before.
Yeah, and I've never done half the ice, and he's actually doing a pretty good job zamming half the ice.
I would have to think you haven't said the names Jordan Willert yet.
Okay.
You haven't said Rody Selk yet.
Okay.
This is after the time of John Grubb, so he's not going to be on this list.
No, he was way before this.
Quinn Filling's not going to be on the list. Same thing.
Well, we got top 5. Here we go. Marty Jackson with 10.
Wow.
And Marty and Lane were, to this day, I still feel, the best 1-2 tandem of goaltenders that Minot High ever had. 2 quality goalies. And I'm not just saying that because Lane Johnson's my stepson. They were 2 good quality goaltenders. They alternated almost every game, and then Lane got the high ankle sprain that knocked him out for almost a month and never got that starting job back. And Marty Jackson went on to get some pretty big performances. So he had 10. Derek Scogan and Jordan Willard are tied with 11 apiece.
Wow.
Scogan stood on his head quite a few times for the Magicians back in the day. And then the top 2 was Rody Selk with 12. And the top one was Bryce Schmidt.
Bryce Schmidt
had 14 Fast Check Player of the Game awards in his career with Minot High. But, I guess I didn't mention the 1 guys because there were so many of them. But, yeah, it was fun to keep track of that and compile all that. We didn't give the visiting or the other team any stars of the game. We always made sure 1, 2, and 3 were all Minot players. And it was and I just stumbled across this pile the other night when I was looking for my game sheet that I like to fill out. So I just thought I'd share that with everybody. So in that 11-year period of time, Bryce Schmidt, Rody Selk, Derek Scogan, Jordan Willert, and Marty Jackson in the top 5.
Awesome stuff. Here's the recap of how this one went down tonight. Bismarck High rolls Minot High 6-0. At 5:19 of the first, an even strength goal from Chase Furman had the Demons up on top. That was Furman's 5th goal of the year. Drew Leonards had the assist. Then on the power play, Dane Sardelli picks up his 10th goal of the season, goal number 1 of the night. Graydon Stone had the assist on that play. Even strength goal from Dayton Deeks at 16:41 of the first from Zach Schmidt had the Demons up 3-0 at the end of 1. Shots on goal in the first were 12-9 in favor of Bismarck High. Into the second we went. Dane Sardelli scored 40 seconds in, goal number 11 on the season. Connor Martyre and Drew Leonards had the assist on the play. 2:41 later, it was Drew Leonards from Preston Wachter and Landon Fisher. And Bismarck High was rolling at the end of 2 periods played. The shots were actually in favor of the Magicians in the second. Shots on goal in the second favored Minot High 11-8. In the third, the Demons put on 7 shots on goal. The Magicians put on 3. And it was 1 goal from Braxton Neese at 7:40 midway through the period, assisted by Caleb Petrie to send this thing to runtime. And at that point, it was Bismarck High that just put it in cruise control, got a little chippy at the end. Didn't matter. Final shots tonight on goal were 27-23 in favor of Bismarck High. Odie Nelson tonight comes up with 9 saves on 13 shots. Jordan Love, 12 saves on 14 shots. That's how it ends tonight in favor of the Bismarck High Demons over Minot High. Larry, your thoughts on the game tonight? It's hard to pinpoint this one, but goaltending was the issue for the Magi here this evening.
Well, in penalties, by the way, Bismarck whistled, they don't have the total added up here. They were whistled for 9 penalties, I believe. And Minot High with 8 penalties. So it was only 1 penalty apiece midway through the second period. So until it got late and, as you said, got a little more physical, it basically was a pretty clean game until it got out of line there a little bit. Yeah, this was a bad one for the Magicians. I know the kids were fired up to come on out, and they had lost an exhibition game here 3-0 right before Christmas. Lost down in Bismarck when the first period was lopsided. They came back and played pretty well. So you come into this game and you hope that you can get it done in front of your hometown fans and finally get a silver lining that you can look forward to for the next game. And it just didn't happen. They gave up too many goals early, and they did compete and they played them pretty tight. But the shots on goal were close, but that doesn't count. The scoreboard is what does. And unfortunately, Bismarck got a couple of what we call in hockey soft goals. And I'm not trying to hammer on the goaltender or the goaltenders, but everybody pretty much can agree that on this level, you need that team to score on you on deflections, screens, rebounds. As you said during the broadcast, you don't ever want to give up the first shot, especially if it's uncontested with nothing going on in front. So it's a bad one for the Magicians, and we said that down in Bismarck earlier this year. Now it's time to regroup again and get ready to go. I think the next game is up in Bottineau on Monday night, and then they will head to Dickinson the following Saturday. Got a couple of home games left with Williston and Bottineau, and I believe then it's showtime in the West region to be played right here at the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena.
Good luck. Up next for Bismarck High, they, according to what I'm looking at on the schedule, they're off until the 26th, Friday the 26th, for a home matchup against Bottineau, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like on paper to me. Here's an update from out east tonight. Grand Forks Central over Fargo Davies, 4-0 final score. And that's Grand Forks Central with the win here tonight.
We were all starting to think that Davies might be able to compete a little bit. They were in a three-way tie at 7-0-2 for that region. They were looking forward to maybe knocking off the big bad wolf. I guess that didn't happen out there tonight.
We'll have Vermont's finest collision center stars of the game when we return. This is the Planet Pizza. Excuse me. My, oh my, that's how long of a night it's been for me. Buffalo Wild Wings post-game show tonight. Bismarck High rolls the Magi 6-0. Put the closing touches on this one when we return. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Areas we serve. First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knopp. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Five Meadow Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com. Let's go back to the press box for more of the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show.
Bismarck High improves to 6-1 in the West Region tonight with the win over the Minot High Magicians. 6-0 the final. The Magi fall to 5 at Fort's. Nick Hulberg with Larry McFall for the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. It's a great place to go for lunch, too. They've got a great lunch menu. Check out Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow.
It's time for the Minot's Finest Collision Center Stars of the Game. Minot's Finest Collision Center. We are Minot's Finest.
Well, if you're a Magicians fan and you're hoping for somebody in maroon and gold tonight to be a part of our top 3 of this game, you might as well shut the radio off. It's all Bismarck High tonight on our Minot's Finest Stars of the Game. Minot's Finest Collision Center ensures proper procedures are followed to maintain safety features to keep you and your family safe. We are more than an auto body repair shop. We are Minot's Finest, 839-0989. Larry, who do you have tonight? Kind of hard to argue with Dane Sardelli. He had 2 goals tonight. Is he your star of the game?
Yeah, I think Sardelli deserves that with 2 goals, and I'm looking for an assist here by him. He didn't have an assist. You know, we had competition, though, for number 5, Drew Lennertz. Lennertz tallied 1 goal and 2 assists on the night while wearing sweater number 5 for Bismarck. But goals are always a little more important, I guess, and Sardelli got the second goal of the game and the 4th goal of the game to pretty much kind of put that away. And we've given him the number 1 star tonight.
Those are your 3 stars of the game tonight, brought to you by Minot's Finest.
Lennertz is number 2. We need to name a number 3. And I thought that Stone played fairly well. He got 1 assist, but he was active quite a bit in a lot of the play here tonight, setting up some plays, not necessarily getting assists, but the senior forward was pretty solid on the ice and got a few hits and got that assist as well.
Quinn Ackerman could be in the conversation. Pitched another shutout tonight. 8 shutouts on the year for Mike Peluso's club between Ackerman and Martin. He just wasn't tested at all tonight, though. Minot High didn't throw anything that was worthy at him the entire night, I didn't think.
Yeah, the quality scoring chances from our official scorekeepers only had Minot with 3 quality scoring chances, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and none in the third, while they had Bismarck charted with 5, 4, and 3 for 12 quality scoring chances, and out of those 12, they put 6 goals into the net. So if you're Mike Peluso, you're fairly happy about what happened, and if you're Bennett, Grubb, and Willert, you're a little frustrated at this stage now, hoping that your team can finally get some scoring punch here going into the end of the season.
Final thoughts tonight, Larry, do you have any? Or were those it?
Well, Minot just needs to keep on fighting and to make sure that, and you guys talked about it in the pregame show, eventually you got to score the first goal. And if you don't have a team that has a lot of real pure goal scorers, you at least have to get the lead to make the other team maybe try to start taking some chances to try to tie the game, and then from there you can possibly maybe even get some short rushes down to the other end. So they just need to keep on fighting. They need to try to score first in one of these games here pretty soon to give themselves a little bit of a cushion so they don't always have to play from behind and have that feeling of despair on the bench like they had tonight in the second period. So they just got done playing the 2 top teams in the West region. Now they're going to play teams that we all think they should probably beat. Maybe that's when the scoring wakes up and they start getting some goals and some assists and start to feel good about themselves again. And the goaltending has to be better. I mean, we all know that Odin Nelson can play very well. Love looked good tonight. Odin Nelson looked very good on Tuesday night, I thought, against Century. They need that, as Coach Bennett said. We need our goaltenders, and specifically Odin, to be 90% save percentage from here on out to give them a chance to win games. And maybe that'll all fall together.
Hope you're right. Thanks for your time tonight. As always, it's great.
No problem.
Great working with you. A lot of fun. Minot High falls tonight 6-0 to Bismarck High. We're back in action Monday night, 7:30 at the Botno Lumberdome. We'll have the call for you starting at 7:10 with the Planet Pizza pregame show. Dane Sardelli scores twice tonight, leads Bismarck High to a 6-0 win. Minot High remains in third. We'll see you on Monday night. Good night and God bless.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.